through some entertainment stories. We'll start with this. George Clooney opening up about a shift in his priorities, revealing that he's easing away from the hustle of Hollywood and focusing on more meaningful work. Speaking at Monday's 51st Chaplin Awards Gala, where Clooney was honored, he shared that he will be doing more work with the Clooney Foundation for Justice, the organization he co-founded with his wife, Amal Clooney, as well as his work with the Los Angeles Roybal School of Film and Television, creating what he says is a more inclusive pipeline for students in film and TV jobs.
Because I heard that he was attempting to get an I Fly franchise in third world countries.
Why not?
Yeah.
He explained the shift in his career, saying, I will be doing things that I find more fulfilling because I'm not chasing a career anymore. He added that this new phase allows him to focus on passion projects, noting it's helpful in a way because you get to spend more time working on things that matter to you, and that's where my focus is. He's not fully stepping away from acting. He said, if you get a good part, you take it. So,
yeah. I mean, he might want to host a game show.
But he has that luxury. He can do what he wants to. So good for him. Barry Keoghan is finally speaking out on the rumors that that have dogged him since his split with Sabrina Carpenter. He made a point recently in an interview to address the persistent stories that had him cheating on the pop star, leading to their breakup. He said, I came off Instagram and social profiles, I've stopped going to events, stopped socializing. It's because, there was a narrative out there that was never really sort of even spoken on, a narrative that's not true, and I never confirmed or said anything about it. It just disappeared. He said, I'm asking for people to stop assuming and also stop jumping in on this narrative and attacking me and dragging me down in any way you can. Just absolutely disgusting and vile. There's videos on TikTok literally going, I hate him.
Well, basically, she's got a similar fan base to Taylor Swift.
Right.
And when they're mobilized, they can get very aggressive.
Keoghan and Carpenter went public with their relationship in February 2024, with their breakup confirmed that December.
Are you Team Key or Carp?
I got to go with Carp because she's from Quakertown.
Yeah, she's our girl.
Yep.
Even though she doesn't know where a lie.
No, she doesn't, but maybe someday she will. Yeah. We'll see. So while life seems to be a series of negatives for Taylor Frankie Paul, lately there is reportedly at least one positive in the reality star that the reality star has in her life. Us Magazine is reporting that one suitor from the shelved season of The Bachelorette may still be in her life.
Love you.
Sources tell the outlet that Taylor and Doug Mason. Oh, that's a good manly name.
Doug Mason. I am Doug Mason, and I like to be hit.
So she and Doug Mason are seeing each other again.
I give you this bar stool to throw at me.
And are trying to make it work.
I love damaged alcoholic chicks who throw furniture.
After her season of the reality dating show is pulled by ABC.
I want you to throw furniture at me forever.
They were.
Look, I drew a target on my face.
They were hanging out recently and want to see if they can get back together and be a couple, according to the
I want to be a Muppet too.
So
it's Mormon, dummy.
So we'll see if this ends up being something she can cling on to.
By the way, does she consider herself an active?
I don't know. I don't know if she's still in the church or not.
No, I think that you had a story a little while back about how she's lapsed. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say so.
Well, you remember she had that for the Bachelorette promo. They had her holding a book. It said the Book of More Men instead of Mormon.
How cheesy.
So this was good news. We have a clip that coincides with this from Jurassic Park star Sam Neill. The Aussie actor reports that after a 5-year battle against cancer, his latest scans came back clear, no signs of cancer. He was talking to Australia's 7 News and saying he's receiving chemotherapy, but it eventually stopped working and believed that he was on his way out. And then he had another treatment that he said had worked for him. Here's a little clip of him.
I've just had a scan just now, and there is no cancer in my body. This is an extraordinary thing.
So he stumbled across what's called CAR therapy, which the news station outlined as a treatment that genetically modifies patients' blood cells and is in clinical trials in the region. And, he said no cancer in his body, so he's happy.
Honestly, weren't you thinking that, last time he was very candid about it.
Yep.
So every time you'd see him, you'd think his days are numbered. If this is something that's going to have some sticking power, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, most definitely. Kyle Cook slammed West Wilson for not supporting Amanda Batula during the upcoming Summer House Season 10 reunion.
Well, what does Dabney Dubrow think about this?
Saying, and what about Doug Mason as well? Saying in a post to Threads.
What about Chest Rockwell?
Chest Rockwell.
That's Boogie Nights?
That's Boogie Nights. Right. What was the other character's name? It wasn't as good as Chest Rockwell.
Throckmorton?
Something like that. Yeah. Oh, Marissa.
Where did I hear the name Throckmorton? That might have been
Throckmorton is from the Addams Family.
Is that what that is?
When Cousin It is able to speak clearly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm taking Throckmorton for our evening constitutional.
Oh, my God.
Chest, Rockwell, and Brock Landers.
Brock Landers.
Okay.
Two of the best names ever.
The best.
In that scene where they're telling the director, oh, my God.
Burt Reynolds?
Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we got these two guys. Chest Rockwell, and he's just like, he loves it when he hears it.
It's great.
It's just
It's
horrible.
gonna be my greatest work.
Oh, my God. All right, well, anyway, back to Summer House. He described the taping as a brutal beatdown and said that he couldn't recall Wilson defending Amanda. All this drama has been heating up since leaked audio from the upcoming reunion showed Sierra Miller calling Batula a snake.
Chest, I've got nothing in the tank.
Sparking heated exchanges about her relationship with Wilson while still legally married. Bravo, meanwhile, has condemned the leak as a serious breach of trust.
Bravo probably orchestrated the leak.
Yeah. They quickly performed an investigation and found that the leak was an unauthorized recording shared by someone involved in production of the reunion.
Again, I remind you that in its early days, Bravo was opera, ballet. It was the cultured alternative. And now it is as low rent as you can get.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, without question. All right, so we told you last week that American Pie actress Shannon Elizabeth was launching her OnlyFans. And we have an update. And you can say that the start of her OnlyFans page was a unqualified success. According to an inside source, Elizabeth has earned around $1 million in her first week on the platform.
Jesus.
Yeah, so an insider said over half of that was earned through direct messages to OnlyFans users. So I guess you pay for DMs.
Yes. Oh, yeah. You can do that. You can carry on conversations. You can have
for money, right?
Yeah, for money.
And while tips and posts accounted for the rest. So Elizabeth's rep told Page Six that the actress is planning to use some of the funds toward her charity, the Shannon Elizabeth Foundation. No word if it's nudity. I'm assuming it probably isn't because there hasn't been any words of that yet.
My guess is she's boundary pushing, but because people would be pissed off. But I mean, I on my OnlyFans, I don't go fully nude.
You don't have to.
I tease.
Yeah. Janine Bisignano, the ex-wife of late actor Michael Madsen, may be getting a large payday soon. Los Angeles County claims that his estate owes her $1.2 million in unpaid child support.
Wow.
Yeah, the debt dates all the way back to their 1995 divorce and includes a share of his SAG pension payments.
It's unfortunate to hear that.
Yeah. Yep.
Wakey, eggs and bakey.
Dispute over the actor's estate erupted following his death last July. Bisignano wants control over the estate to recover what she claims is owed, while their sons, Christian and Max, have filed to manage the estate themselves.
There is a documentary about him on like Netflix, one of the streaming platforms, and like his start to his career, it's like Hollywood, like you see it in like movies and stuff all the time where he was just driving a friend to an audition,
right?
And they were like, "Hey, why don't you read for this?"
And he was off and running.
And then he was off and running
because he's a real guy.
Yeah,
I mean, he's actually like obviously in Pulp Fiction and not Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, and Kill Bill and all that. I mean, he could deliver.
So there's a court hearing that's going to be held on the matter scheduled for next week. All right, it's almost time to believe again. Apple TV has announced the premiere date and released a teaser trailer for season 4 of Ted Lasso. Hey! So excited to hear this. So we've been rewatching it again at my house. Caleb, my youngest, has found it and is now going through the second run through the whole thing. So we're getting prepped for all this. But
so Caleb wasn't watching it on the initial release.
No.
Oh, what a cool thing to discover. Right? And so it's like it seems dumb, and maybe it's desperation, but I'm like, oh, good, I'm going to feel good when I watch this show.
No, it's
and
true.
you kind of look forward to that.
Yeah. The hit series wrapped a season 3 finale and what was presumed to be the series end, like the whole thing, nearly 3 years ago. Season 4 brings coach Ted Lasso back to the UK to coach Richmond's brand new Lady Greyhounds women's football club.
Now, the key, I think, here, Preston, is if that club generates, like, there are good characters that come out of the women. And because they're bringing all it seems to be most everyone.
Yeah, I'll give you the rundown.
Yeah.
Jason Sudeikis returns in the title role along with Hannah Waddingham, Juna Temple, Brett Goldstein, Brendan Hunt, and Jeremy Swift. So most of the core crew. They're going to be joined by new cast members, Tanya Reynolds, Jude Mack, Faye Marseille, Rex Hayes, Aisling Sharkey, Abby Hearn, and Grant Feely. I thought, by looking at the trailer, I thought Tracy Ullman was in it. There's a woman that looks a lot like her.
Yeah.
But I looked up her IMDb.
Not her.
It's not. There's nothing on her IMDb. There's nothing in this story about it, but it looked, I thought it was Tracy Ullman.
Is it Chest Rockwell?
It might be.
That's true.
That was Tracy Ullman, right?
Wait, take it back a second.
We're
It
looking
looks
at
dramatically like her, but I don't think it is.
Okay.
No.
Look at the dimple.
Yeah.
But there's a split in her teeth that
Yeah.
makes it, maybe
She's
it's
got
not her.
one eye and
I
her
don't-
nose is open.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Also, it looks a little bit like Amy Sedaris, but maybe it's not.
And her name's not in here, too.
It also
So-
looks like Pat Nixon.
But here's the news. The series debuts on Apple TV August 5th, and episodes will drop weekly until October 7th. So they're doing the weekly rollout.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. All right. On the heels of Helena Bonham Carter exiting season 4 of The White Lotus, Laura Dern has joined the show. And
Dern?
hang on, let me back up. Marissa, yes?
This story says Tracy Ullman joins Ted Lasso.
There you go. All right. So maybe that's it.
That'd be awesome then.
Okay. She's amazing.
Yeah.
All right. So Laura Dern, Ding Dirty Dern.
Yeah, Ding Dirty Dern.
Has joined The White Lotus. When Carter exited, it was said that her role would undergo some changes and major changes. Dern is apparently not taking on the exact role that Carter was supposed to play and is instead playing a new character developed by the series creator Mike White.
Well, you know what that means. This season's going to have dinosaurs.
The 4th season is set in France during the Cannes Film Festival with other cast members including Steve Coogan, Dylan Ennis, Alexander Ludwig, Chris Messina, AJ McCullough, and Kamal Nanjiani, and Chest Rockwell, and many more. And Brock, I forgot the name.
Landers.
Brock Landers.
Landers.
And Brock.
We should include them with every synopsis of a cast.
So the animated Tales of the Kids, Adults and Monsters of Hawkins, Indiana will continue. Netflix has announced that there will be a second season of Stranger Things Tales from '85.
Have you watched any yet?
No, I got to get on it.
I got to get on it as well.
Yeah.
There's too much to watch. There's too much to sit there and passively view.
The series debuted on the streamer less than a week ago, and it was an immediate hit with almost 3 million views over its first weekend. So clearly, they're teeing that up for another season. We were talking about Quentin Tarantino for a moment. Quentin's Django crossover may be moving forward. Oscar-winning writer Brian Helgeland has now set to write a crossover film bringing together characters from Django Unchained and The Mask of Zorro, based loosely on a comic by Tarantino and Matt Wagner.
So Django would encounter Zorro?
Yeah, I guess so.
Huh.
And I could see that.
And they're of the same time.
Yeah, and you have one that is a swordsmith and one that's a gunslinger. That's kind of a cool little pairing.
And then a wordsmith as well.
Yeah. So the project is still in early days. There is not a director attached at this particular time, and neither Jamie Foxx nor Antonio Banderas, who played Zorro in the past, have been confirmed as signed on yet either. I didn't see that Zorro.
I did, yeah. It was pretty good.
He and Anthony Hopkins, I think, were in it. Was
Yes,
Anthony Hopkins
and,
in it?
Zeta Jones, was she?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
she
believe
was
so.
she was the femme fatale.
Okay.
Tarantino has not directed a movie since Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that came out in 2019, so we'll see if this ends up happening.
The new Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel, though, directed by a very good director, Finch.
David Finch?
David Finch, yeah.
Okay.
So it should be coming out soon. It looks really good, yeah.
What were you going to say, guys?
Nothing.
Okay. Then I have
love
one more.
you.
I have one more story. I love you too.
I do.
Tom Hanks is poking fun at Woody's new worn-down look in Toy Story 5, joking that the beloved cowboy is starting to show his age. Reflecting on the character's condition, he said that he's been played with to excess. He said that you put a rubber hat on top of a rubber head again and again and again, something's going to chafe. So, yeah, he does have, let's say, a worn area on the back of his head. And he also pointed out that Woody's less than cowboy-ready physique is there, noting that he's not shaped plastic. He is made of stuffing and cloth, and that stuff settles over time. So I know they've given him a bald spot. I guess maybe they give him a gut, too, or something along those lines. So, yeah. The highly anticipated fifth installment of the Pixar franchise brings back familiar voices, but also introducing new cast members. So on board are Conan O'Brien and Greta Lee as the toys face a modern world filled with screens, of course. And
I love this idea.
Yeah.
That the toys are competing with iPads.
Yep, and it's coming out on June 19th.
There was a cute video that went around. I guess Chet Hanks played Stagecoach last weekend.
Okay.
And some dude's like, I'm just in a tent watching Chet Hanks. It was a very light crowd. He's not like huge. Tom Hanks is just right next to him.
Wow.
Like,
That's
bobbing
cool.
his head and
That's
banging
cool.
along. That's really cool.
All right, we got some clips to play for you, Pipples. Imperfect Women finds a decades-long friendship between three ladies shattered when one gets murdered. And here, Corey Stoll shares his passion for playing emotionally complex characters.
That's what I love about acting, is that you get to live these other lives and you get to share the dirty, messy parts of yourself and turn it into something beautiful.
I like big balls.
Season finale of Imperfect Women streams today. You can find that on Apple TV Plus. Here's our next clip. $1 Million Secret has 12 contestants competing to figure out which one of them is the millionaire in order to win the cash prize. And here host Peter Serafinowicz explains how money can change you.
I think most people who've been contestants, they also want to portray themselves as being kind of honorable, honest people. And that just goes out the window, like for $1 million.
Shut up, dummy.
It's a good show.
Is it?
yeah?
Yes. Rochelle started watching. I came in the middle of the first season with her, which was sometime last year. And I don't watch reality shows.
No, you don't.
But it's a good game.
All right.
They're in a beautiful palatial
Estate.
mansion.
Yeah.
And one person is a millionaire. They have this cash. You essentially have to try to find out who the millionaire is and try to vote them out. at
Like
the
the
end.
mole.
Kind of like that.
Yeah.
But it changes hands. The $1 million will change hands throughout the game. And they also give these tasks that the millionaire has to try to achieve in order to get certain securities that maybe they won't get voted out, or they'll have certain powers. And the games that they have them play are pretty damn good.
All right.
It's worth a look.
I think
if you want to just like check your brain, have some fun. I recommend it. So the season finale of $1 Million Secret streams today. It's on Netflix if you want to see that. All right, there you go. That is your entertainment report for today. All right, gang, we got something going on. Marissa just gave me the information. I don't know if you noticed, but if the Flyers win tonight, they move on to round 2 of the NHL playoffs. So we have tickets for the game tonight at the Xfinity Mobile Arena, and you can be there to cheer them on. Here's what we're doing. We're doing a Flyers secret text word. We haven't done this contest in a long time.
No, we want to give everyone a fair shot.
Very simple. Here's what you have to do is text the word Flyers to 610-660-9333. We are going to send back a secret text word to you, and at some point this morning, we will ask you to be a designated caller. If you are that number caller, you give us that secret text word, you're going to the game tonight.
Fun fact, every time we've given away tickets in this series, the Flyers have won.
How about that?
That one other time.
Fun fact.
Isn't that a fun fact? All right, so 610-660-9333 is the number. So text the word Flyers to that. We'll send you that secret text word, and at some point, we're going to get a winner this morning. Maybe that's going
I'm
to be
just looking at the text board. Flyers.
It's exploding as we speak. The only thing that sucks about that is it was a hard time keeping an eye on our regular texts that come in for people who want to comment. But we'll work it out, and we got tickets for you. We also have money, $1,000. It's no sad bro. It's also WMMR's birthday today, and we are playing exclusive MM Archive cuts throughout the morning. So you're going to hear some live stuff that was performed exclusively for WMMR all morning long. And we're also going to have Ricky Bo stopping by today. We got to talk about all the action that's taking place.
It's crazy.
With the Phils, and Gene Simmons will join us for 5 minutes this morning.
5 whole minutes.
Get ready for that. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a moment, so stay with us.
1,240 unread text messages.
Unread text messages.
Yep.
Nah, I like to keep mine at 0.
Good for you.
I have
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So I'm good on that. Now my mail
Yeah, that's
in
a
my
different
mailbox, let me see where that is at. That's currently at 321,862.
Jesus. All right. Opening things that people want to kick as far as their phone habits go. Opening social media as soon as they wake up.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that.
Don't do that.
Number 4, constantly checking for notifications even when none are there. So if I post something, that's me. I'm like constantly going back. All right, how many views? How many likes?
You are.
How many blah, blah, blah? Who did it? Yeah. But that lasts for like a day, and then the post is old. But so much so that I hate that I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I hate
You
the
hate
fact
yourself.
that I'm going back and I'm trying to hit, I'm that rat hitting the feeder bar for the heroin, you know?
And that's how it works.
Yeah.
All right, be honest. How many times a day do you check in with your jerk mate?
Yeah. I've never heard of jerkmate before. No.
Oh, okay.
I just thought,
Yo, ever heard of jerkmate?
number 4, constantly checking. Yeah, I already have that. Number 3, never cleaning your phone, meaning cleaning out.
I think putting it in the washing machine.
Yeah.
I don't know if that
I
means.
think actually cleaning the phone with the screen and
Does that mean that? Okay.
that's what I would perceive it as, unless they're talking about cleaning out apps.
Oh, did you ever see those videos where they'll like get the dust inside the like charger port and things like that?
I've seen
it's
that
very like ASMR for me.
Well,
Okay.
they do like a wax type of
Yes.
thing. Yeah.
It's almost like a rubbery,
Or like a putty or like a glue.
like a gelatin.
Yeah.
Taking their phone to bed and scrolling until they fall asleep.
I never do that.
I don't either.
No.
And then number 1, taking up storage with duplicate or unneeded photos. These are the things that people want to kick.
Yeah.
Or the habits they want to kick with their phones.
Do you remember years ago, before the cell phones and these kind of things, you get a hotel room that had a phone in the bathroom, and it was such a wild thing. Like, I think I'm going to call somebody while I'm taking a dump.
I actually had this thought yesterday. I went to Acme to get some milk, and as I was walking out, I was thinking about those a-holes that would go into the supermarket, and they would grab a gallon of milk and then just smash it on the floor, and they would do that for views on whatever, and they thought it was so funny. And I just think that those little pricks are what a-holes, man. And somebody else is going to clean that up. And then I was like, oh my God, if I would have had a cell phone in 7th and 8th grade.
You probably would have done
and
that.
in high school, I would have been an insufferable a-hole.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, think about how
Well, it's
insufferable
enabling
I am
you.
now.
Well,
you know?
if you're an attention whore, and look at all these people that do this stuff.
Yeah.
All right, I have another survey, and this one actually came up in conversation the other day, and we didn't get a chance to explore it. It has to do with crowdfunding. And it has obviously emerged as a convenient way to get help, covering costs for emergency treatment or, sports equipment, anything in between. But there are some opinions on crowdfunding. And there was the survey that they did. Number 1, they found out where most crowdfunding donations go to. And the most go to medical causes. 39% are for medical expenses or healthcare causes, or at least that's what's being presented.
Right.
17% for a memorial or funeral. 10% for groceries or daily necessities. 8% veterinary expenses or animal causes. 7% natural disaster relief or for an individual or community. 4% for equipment or materials for youth sports or activities. Number 3, education expenses or causes. These are crowdfunding. And 3%, a life event such as a wedding. But the poll shows that Americans, including crowdfunding donors, have some doubts about whether people who crowdfund really need the money and use it responsibly. Most U.S. adults don't have high confidence in the crowdfunding sites. That crowdfunding sites charge reasonable service fees or that campaigns generally reach their goals.
I think we've talked over the past number of years. There have been so many GoFundMe scams and other crowdfunding scams and you hear about them all the time, that I think reflexively, people go, what is this?
Yeah, yeah. I remember back in the day before crowdfunding was a thing on the. This is basically before the internet. I had friends that basically this is crowdfunding, all right?
Yeah.
They would crowdfund to get money so they could get a beach house for the summer. And the way they would do it, because you got to think these are, probably 19, 20, 21-year-old people, they would get like a fire hall, and they would hold a beef and beer. And, for $10, and you got to think, like, as a, young person, all I want to do is just like go somewhere and drink beer out of a red Solo cup or whatever. So
to me, that's different in tone, though.
I know that, but
you're actually because what you're doing is your money's going to the actual circuitously purchasing your beef and beer.
Yeah,
a GoFundMe is just here you go.
Yeah, Casey was saying this is before the days of crowdfunding,
right.
Yeah.
and wouldn't have blinked twice at what the money was going to. You just,
But would you ever think to go to like could you do a GoFundMe? Hey, me and my boys want to
get a beach house. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you people do though.
Yeah.
The amount of things that'll end up in crowdfunding,
right?
GoFundMe type. What's the other site that competes with GoFundMe? It's similar name, but anyway, people put up very frivolous things.
Yeah, well, so when the main thing that made me think about that, Steve, is Preston listed like weddings in there. That's not on anybody else to pay for to crowdfund and pay for somebody's wedding, and it's not necessarily on me to make sure that you get a cool ass beach house, for an entire summer.
So I just Googled GoFundMe beach house.
Okay.
And somebody is saying save Nanny's home in Ocean City, New Jersey.
Oh. Well, there you
So
go.
this family
You're
can't
saving Nanny's home.
Well, this family can't afford the house. So they're trying to raise money to collect. They've gotten almost $11,000 out of $24,000. Their goal.
That's a little different than renting a beach house, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
Give us a place to go this summer.
Participation still lags behind more formal avenues for giving, though. Overall, the share of Americans who said that they had given to a crowdfunding campaign was far fewer than the roughly 7 in 10 who indicate that they made a charitable contribution in 2025. It's just through the crowdfunding, a little less participation. These efforts lend themselves to small gifts. The AP NORC poll found that 6 in 10 crowdfunding donors gave $50 or less when they last supported a campaign. The lower donation sizes underscore the importance of strong personal networks. Without offline connections or large social media reach, campaigns can face difficulties reaching the critical mass of small dollar contributors necessary to meet their goal.
When you donate, if you have donated, do you go anonymously? Do you put your name up? How do you go about it?
It depends on what the event is, but we have done anonymous donations before. But for the most part, I'll put my name down.
One of my little gripes about GoFundMe is I wish that you could edit what your name is.
Yeah.
So I wish that I could write like from the Magnotta family or something like that. Because
True,
sometimes
you have to go with your straight up name.
when you're donating it, it's weird if it's just coming from you.
So when I post or make any donation, I always put it from the Magnotta family, which is a weird.
That's good.
I don't know why.
That's the name on your Venmo or whatever it is. I love it.
So there are broad doubts about whether the crowdfunding sites charge reasonable service fees or not. The poll found only 44% of U.S. adults are at least somewhat confident that the sites charge reasonable service fees. I don't even know what the service fees are. I've never set one up, so I don't know. More than half of U.S. adults were at least somewhat confident that people who raise money through crowdfunding sites really need the money, and about half were at least somewhat confident that they use it responsibly, but only about 1 in 10 were very or extremely confident. So
that's a low ratio.
That is. All right, one more maybe?
Yeah, just one more.
Okay. So I'll try to get through this quickly because we have to go on Fox Good Day. But this was in 1998. Gallup in USA Today called up just over 1,000 Americans on landlines and asked them for their best predictions about a year in the distant future, 2025. So they had to make predictions. This is an old survey.
I love this. Yes.
And they're now.
When was the survey conducted?
1998.
Okay.
So a polling archive
71 years ago.
Maintained by the Roper Center at Cornell University.
Run by Mr. Roper.
And Mr. Furley was the president at the time. So here's a look back on some of them held up. Some were surprisingly prescient. Most Americans predicted that over the next 27 years, the country would have elected a black president. gay marriages would be legal and commonplace, and a deadly new disease would have emerged. Most people in 1998 correctly doubted that space travel would be common for ordinary Americans or that alien life forms would have made contact by now. So they got those.
Go figure, right?
Yeah, they got those correct. Here are some of the other ones. 68% believed that physician-assisted suicide would be commonplace. It's become more commonplace.
Yeah.
67% said an environmental catastrophe will have occurred. 66% said that the country would have elected a woman president. That hasn't happened yet. Cirque du Soleil.
The way that you said it.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
slide.
Because it's a website. And if, if you go to Cirque Soleil, it's not going to be. It's Cirque du Soleil.
Cirque du Soleil.
Cirque du Soleil.
Sorry,
It's
I
a
will
tough
say
one.
it.
Okay, hey,
I will
listen,
say it
man.
with the pretty accent. Cirque du Soleil.
Still can't say it.
Day.
Day.
Oh,
Cirque-
see, the pronunciation on my website here ends with Cirque du Soleil.
That's on them then.
Yeah.
That's
Cirque
yeah.
du Soleil.
Soleil.
Yes.
Yeah.
Day and
Day.
Soleil.
So it's the day part that I usually
Yeah.
leave out. The Cirque Soleil.
Yeah.
Cirque des
Cirque du Soleil.
But don't
Day
go
Soleil.
don't go so day with the day. It's more like a day.
Okay.
Cirque du Soleil.
Hey, I actually spoke to a couple performers a couple weeks ago on the 52 Weeks of First podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, Cirque du Soleil performers?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. Somebody who's one of the artistic directors and a performer who is a fourth generation circus performer.
Nice.
Wow.
Because the very first circus was here in Philadelphia on Market Street. Like 13th and Market was the very first circus
In America.
in America.
Wow.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right.
You're doing a good job with that series. by the
where
way.
can people see all of those, Marissa?
52 Weeks of Firsts on, you just Google that. It's all over visitphilly.com. You can follow us on 52 Weeks Philly on social media. I'm trying to think of the copy that I read every week.
It's all right.
And there's fun little like 15-minute interviews and talk to some cool people. The one this week is the very first postmaster, which is Benjamin Franklin.
Excellent. All right. Well, listen, something we got going on this morning is we have tickets to give away to the Flyers. We're doing a secret text word, something we haven't done in a little while. So text the word Flyers to 610-660-9333. We will send you a text word. That's important. You're going to need that word later on because we will ask you to call in. When you are the designated caller, give us that word and you'll go to the game tonight. That's how it's going to work.
Come on, man, and bring the mojo.
Yeah. I had somebody checked in earlier. She won our stupid question. She thought she had won Flyers tickets. She won MMRBQ tickets.
Yeah.
I was talking about the Flyers tickets, but no, the only thing we were giving away the MMRBQ tickets. This is how you win the Flyers tickets. You text the word Flyers to 610-660-9333.
Concerts are better in sporting events anyway. Nobody loses at a concert.
How about
right.
that, man?
Everyone wins.
Yeah, you can't watch them on TV either.
And we're all going to be there at the barbecue.
Yep.
All right, so Steve was not here yesterday.
Yeah.
I've mentioned all morning long that your wife Claire had dislocated her jaw. It's something slightly different than that.
So, well, let me explain what was going on. It was like mid-afternoon. You know, she's having lunch. I'm sitting, as I do, doing show prep on the computer. She comes in from the kitchen, and there is a noticeable bump on the side of her face. And that wasn't there when I kissed her earlier. And she goes, I think I dislocated, or I think something's out of whack with my jaw. She felt the pressure. And I mean, when someone doesn't have something in that area and then you see something distended, your first thought is the jaw it popped out.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't horrendous. She felt pressure. She felt a bit of discomfort. So we actually had an appointment to take our dog Kizzy to the physical therapist, which, we did. During that, she's fine. Claire's fine. But it's getting bigger. The bump is getting bigger. And we've made, we happen to be passing by the chiropractor that she goes to and thought maybe an adjustment might, if there's something that's slightly out of whack that he could do, really didn't know what, how to approach it. On the way back, the pain, multiplies exponentially. I mean, she's trembling in pain in the back seat. So we quickly stop by the chiropractor. He's like, this is out of my realm. Talk to your primary, Dr. Mike. So we contact Dr. Mike, and obviously in classic Mike fashion, he pulls together the forces of the universe to make sure that everything happens as expeditiously as it could. She got and this is why I called you guys. I said, Claire's going to be knocked the F out with this stuff, and I have to make sure that I can get her to the hospital. So
Pain medication you're talking about.
Yeah. I just punched her. But she's so she managed to get a little bit of sleep the night before. And so we got in early to Penn in the city to get an MRI. So she goes in. She's, the pain medication has helped. She feels a little bit better. And then we go over to Penn Radner. We're big fans of Penn Radner.
Oh, me too.
And a guy, super nice, Mike again calls in a favor. Dr. Solicito takes a look at her. And now, years ago, you may have remembered that I had mentioned that my wife had this thing with her salivary gland. And apparently it happens to some people.
Yeah, my friend Mark had the same thing happen.
Where it will block. And then essentially what happened was Claire was eating a bagel that was making her salivate. She had this 10 years ago. The opening to the gland that pumps the saliva out into your mouth had been closing steadily. This extra salivating did something, blocked it, put something in the way, and basically the saliva in that gland had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
It was filling. That's why her
That's why it
jaw was
swelled up.
puffing out, and that was causing the pain. So actually, he was able to kind of press on it and release some of the saliva into her mouth, and she immediately felt, it relieving. So she's got an infection, but she has this thing. By the way, 10 years ago when she had it, she spent 2 days in the hospital. It hurts like a mother effer.
Yeah, my buddy Mark has told me about it. It's happened on a couple occasions, and one of the things that you can do is use some hard candy, apparently.
Hard candy.
Or citrus.
Or suck on a lime.
Yeah.
Or just basically keep working out, and you can even massage the area,
Yeah.
your glands. But it was wild because Dr. Solicito had the MRIs, and I'm looking at my wife's brain, and I'm like, this is awesome.
Dude.
Yeah, her brain and everything. But you're seeing, he explained it, the way Dr. Mike does, in a way that you're like, okay, I get this. And he put two and two together very quickly. Him and his assistant, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting your name if you're in the room with us. And so now she's going to go back, but she has a treatment course that has made a dramatic difference. But you would have looked at her and you would have thought that jaw was dislodged.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that's
because it sits
crazy.
on the same area.
Yep.
And usually you don't go from 0 to 60 that way, but every time saliva is being generated often and pumped into your mouth, and it had nowhere to go. And then so that was that. So that's what we're dealing with. So it's not the kind of thing that you can, well, what if I include this in my diet? Or what if you just kind of do, like you said, hard candy, lemon, try to keep your salivary glands doing what they do.
Yeah.
So
What if you sucked on a chili dog? Would that?
they say chili dog is the number one cure.
Okay.
You have to suck on
chili dog
all the time.
on a chili
But you have to be in front of the Tasty Freeze.
You have to be in front of the
Yes.
Tasty Freeze because the temperature has to be right.
Yeah.
But so she's doing much better, thanks to everyone who reached out. But I was like, when it's, you see the person you love more than anything on earth in that kind of pain.
Yeah, man.
It's like, mother of God.
But I'm glad it wasn't a dislocated jaw. That sounds like that would have been way more pernicious in fixing.
Well, we're hearing, okay, so would they go in from the inside of the mouth? Did they do the surgery from the jawline?
Yeah.
What's involved with this? How are they going to do this? No, that's not the case. But it was painful, man.
Yeah, man.
And she was hurting big time.
Wow. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys got that
Yeah,
worked
thank
out.
you.
So, yeah, no problem. But that sucks if that happens. Wow. All right. Well, good news on that front then.
Yes, thank you.
And I got a number of things. I think we could do Totally Presbo. Yeah, thank you.
Totally Presbo.
Hi, Presbo.
So I saw this and thought you guys would find this interesting. There's a viral home networking tip that claims that placing a coin on top of a wireless router can boost internet speed and stability. And it's been gaining traction. This has apparently happened before.
Is this similar to putting your junk in front of the water return in a pool?
Almost identical to that. But no, this has been making its way around social media again. Network specialists and published technical guidelines say the practice has no measurable effect on signal performance and may actually damage the equipment over time.
Of course.
Wait, who's saying this?
The internet.
The internet is saying that it will damage it? Okay.
No. Specialists and
Okay.
published technical guidelines say that this could over time damage. You want me to explain?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just wondering. I'm like, man, maybe this is the people who don't want us to have a better signal.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No. And I'll explain why. The technique, which recently reappeared in technology forums and short-form video content, holds that the metallic properties of a coin can act as a supplementary antenna or a heat dissipator for the device. Multiple reports examined the claim, found that neither justification holds up to scrutiny. Any perceived improvement is more plausibly tied to a normal network fluctuation than to the presence of a coin. The trick's resurgence shows how stubbornly technology myths can circulate, kept alive by anecdotal reports and a hazy understanding of wireless communication.
So this is like, I have a very powerful home receiver. I have a home theater, and it'll heat up on top. And I was told you could make waffles on that.
Okay.
No, you cannot.
Oh, you can't. Oh.
So home routers operate on two frequency bands. 2.4 gig band reaches farther and penetrates walls and furniture more easily. The 5 gig band delivers higher speeds, but over shorter distances and with less tolerance for physical obstructions. Altering the radiation pattern of an antenna system working at these frequencies demands a precisely engineered conductive element with dimensions, geometry, and placement calculated for the specific wavelength. Wi-Fi wavelengths measure in centimeters. The antenna design is a specialized engineering field that accounts for impedance matching, polarization, and directional gain. It's not just a piece of metal that's stuck to the back.
It's not rabbit ears.
No,
Come on.
It's actually, they are tuned. They are tuned components that convert electrical signals into electromagnetic waves and back. A coin sitting passively on a plastic housing plays no part in that conversion. None.
What if you put it a hanger? Metallic hanger.
Yeah. You remember doing that
all the
on
time.
your TV back in the day?
My kitchen TV.
Radio waves follow physical principles that cannot be overridden by an improvised metal object placed on a router chassis.
How's your Wi-Fi coverage in your house?
It's good.
Yeah, mine is tremendous at Xfinity, and it's so powerful that sometimes I actually begin to tan.
Oh wow! Where do you have your router? Is it on first floor, second floor?
Second floor,
Yeah, me
in the
too.
center of the house.
Yeah.
It's on the main floor of our home.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know why we put it on our second floor.
Well, you
but
usually pick the room where you're most likely to watch porn because you want the signal to stay strong.
How often do you guys upgrade your router?
I've had it.
I don't know.
Have you ever?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They'll come over and like beta test stuff in my house, which is cool. So I just got the additional router that kicks in during a power failure, and will turn all the Wi-Fi. It works. I'll just tell you that.
No,
It's
that's
great.
cool.
So if the coin has any real effect on a router operation, specialists say that the effect is negative. Consumer routers rely on passive cooling through ventilation slots built on their enclosures. The internal processors, radio amplifiers, power regulation circuitry generate heat continuously, and that thermal load must dissipate into the surrounding air. Even a modest temperature rise can trigger protective measures that degrade performance.
Preston, if not coins, can you use paper money?
Sure. Yeah, why not? Try it. When internal temperatures cross design thresholds, routers often respond by reducing transmission power, throttling the processor, or briefly shutting down the radio. Users who noticed intermittent slowdowns or disconnections after trying the coin trick may be experiencing these thermal responses, not any signal boost. Placing an object on the top panel can block ventilation pathways, particularly on models where grills sit on the upper surface. Chronic overheating can also shorten component lifespan, turning a harmless myth into a repair bill.
So I have a little, it's a fan designed for a cabinet where you have a lot of electronics. It just circulates air.
Cool things
and
off.
it keeps, and it'll tell the temperature of that area, and it just keeps things from overheating.
I mean, they have signal boosters anyway, right?
Yes,
Like stuff,
yeah.
you know,
like a coin. You can use a coin.
No, not a coin.
He just said you can.
It is pretty crazy. The internet can amplify these trends or these viral things, so much quicker.
Right.
And it's crazy to think that like we had this back in the day before the internet. Like, so when you started this story, it made me think of, and I'm like, how did this word get out? But back in the day, in the late 80s, early 90s, we had heard this rumor that you could make free phone calls from payphones if you took a metal paperclip.
Right.
Okay. You took a metal paperclip.
I've heard this. Yeah.
And so I asked Sam to grab a picture here in the studio, but we're looking here in the studio. So trying to describe it to our listeners is there is this little hole that was beneath the zero on a payphone, and if you took a paperclip, it had to be a metal one, and you put it in that hole and you connected it into one of the holes in the bottom of the receiver, you could make a phone call for free. and it worked.
Huh.
It absolutely.
You had actually had proof that it worked.
I did it.
You did.
on
You made free
multiple-
calls.
Okay, yeah. So there was
Because that to me just seemed like an urban legend.
there was a corner store around the corner from my house called Rita's, and there was a payphone right out in front of Rita's, and I tried it there for the first time, and it absolutely, positively worked. How does that word get out, right? And, yeah.
Stuff got around. Rumors got around forever.
I'll tell you another one that absolutely worked, and historically you can look it up. There was in Captain Crunch, the cereal.
Yes.
Had a toy that you got. It was a whistle. And you could cover up, it had like different holes on it so you could get different pitches. And apparently if you covered up one of the holes and you blew it, it made this kind of oscillating sound. It's not like that, but... Jesus, why did I even do that? Anyway, it made a certain tone, and you could make, if you blew it into the phone, because they use audio cues,
Yes.
back in the old phone lines they did, and you could make unlimited long-distance phone calls with it.
Stop it.
And the word got out about it. There was one guy in particular that found out about it and started to spread word amongst, like, in the early days of real geeky electronics aficionados or enthusiasts. And it was the bane of the phone company's existence.
Really? I didn't even. This one I did not know about.
Yeah, it's very interesting. In fact, it's written about in the book.
Ready Player One?
In Ready Player One, yeah. It's part of one of the clues.
Did you ever try the one, because I tried it, it did not work, where you take your hairdryer into the bathtub and it will begin dispensing gelato?
Yeah.
Don't try that.
It's got
by
to
the
be
way.
plugged in.
It was
Yeah,
that was debunked. Okay, Steve. Yeah.
There was the one in the movie Hackers where you record the change going in and you play it back into the receiver.
Okay.
And then it hears the sound of the change going in and it would let you play the call.
I didn't realize that it was audio motivated, that it was not the actual change going into some sort of receptacle.
I don't know if I believe that.
Yeah.
Well, I saw it in a movie. So.
Okay, that's in a movie.
But somebody did text in and said, Casey, the paperclip was in a movie. Was it in War Games, maybe?
It doesn't use a paperclip. In that one, he uses the old pull tab from a beer or a soda can.
You know, I've never seen War Games, so.
No, she's talking about Paperclip the movie.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
They also do something similar to that in this movie called Mindhunter or Man. Anyhow, it's where he uses a
Scum from gum.
a wrapper from a gum. Yeah, the foil and the gum. So, but anyhow, yeah, this is this particular. So sometimes there are these little hacks that you can do. Like
This isn't
that.
one of them, though.
The coin is not one of them.
No.
It does not work, and over the long run, it may damage your router. So keep that in mind. Should I go for this call real quick? Hang on.
Interesting, yeah.
All right, let me go to an anonymous caller joining us. Hi, good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning. How you guys doing?
Good, buddy. All right, so you pulled some kind of scam, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm using the name Anonymous.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Casey mentioned the free phone call trick. Well, when I was in college, I made a device with some buddies of mine. We made multiples. We actually had a little operation with this, and you were able to use payphones to make phone calls for free. So what we had to do was we went to Radio Shack when they were back in operation.
Oh, yeah, I love Radio Shack.
And we bought what were called pocket phone dialers, which before you had the phone book built into your phone, you carry an address book, or you had this device, you can program the numbers in, and then you go to a phone, you press button number 1, and it would dial the number that you had stored in it.
Okay, so it would
memorize the numbers.
it would make the sounds of the touch tones.
Yes.
Okay.
So what we would do is we would open it up, take out the chip that makes the sounds, and replace it with a chip that we knew would make different tones. And it turns out that with that new chip, the buttons for like the star would make the sounds that the machine would give when you put a nickel in.
Okay, so you were able to do a runaround on paying for it, whereas the other one was just a quick assist.
That's great.
You turned it into free calls.
Wow.
Yeah, so you would dial a number, and it like, I mean, back when I was in college, I was in Pittsburgh, so to call Philadelphia
Yeah.
on a payphone was like $3.50.
Yeah.
So I would dial the number, and then it would say, please deposit $3.50. Well, I had it programmed where I hit the one button, and it would do like 5 times real quick, so it was a quarter. So I would just hit it every time, and then eventually it would say, thank you, your call is being connected.
Oh my God! How long did you get away with this?
Oh, like whole freshman year of college.
That's great, man. I love it.
So that's the thing from hackers.
Once payphones disappeared, then this went away. But yeah, like I would sit there and like through the call, it would come up and it would say, please deposit more money for additional time.
Yeah.
So you just hit the button again and again, and then it would even say you have so much credit towards overtime.
Yeah.
Now, after about 15, 20 minutes, you would get an actual operator.
Okay.
And they knew what was up. Like they would like sit there and talk crap to you. Because I got one lady that was on there, and she was like, put some real money in this time. Like, oh, crap.
Come on, be a man.
I have to hang up.
Come on, don't you have a job?
All right.
I love that, though.
That's pretty cool,
Yeah,
man.
that's
Thank
great.
you for sharing that. It's a wild story, brother.
Our washing machine in college, the house that I lived in, there was always on the washer, there was always 3 coins in the thing and a hammer. And what you would do is you would put the coins in, and it would be like, I think it was 3 clicks. You'd be like click, 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 and that's where the coins would register. And then you would take the claw of the hammer and then yank it back out. And you got a free wash.
Do you ever do one of the shopping carts that you need a quarter?
Yeah.
To do it, you can 3D print or just get something that's the size of a quarter, put it in.
Like a slug.
Yeah, slug, and then just pull it out so you don't have to.
Oh, God, there were all sorts of hacks like that to get around things. Slugs were quite common.
Yeah.
I for vending machines.
When I would go to wherever they had skee ball.
Skee ball.
The people that would work there, if you pull the handle and the balls don't come down, the guy would come over and he literally had a quarter on a wire. And would shove it down in there, pull the handle, and yank the quarter back out. That was their tool.
And once you see that, you're like, oh, okay.
Dude, I got to make one of these. Wow. All right. Well, I thought that was kind of interesting and worth sharing with you. I have another one.
Totally Presbo.
This one is local. An unemployed guy from Philadelphia has thought of a unique way to make money, and apparently it's working. The guy's name is Nick Greenwald. He is selling. Now, I haven't gone and looked at his socials yet, but he is selling space on his toilet, posting it on social media. And so far, brands like Clorox, Pine Sol, Miralax have all signed on. So have grooming brand Dr. Sasquatch.
I'm familiar.
They have commented on a post with all I heard was King Sasquatch. They commented, and Greenwald's reach has gone beyond hygiene as crypto payments from MoonPay shared a post where they touted 24 hours ago we advertised MoonPay on a stranger's toilet bowl. His results are impressive. One video has over 40 million views on it, and another is getting over 13 million views. This dude is just using his toilet. He's here in Philadelphia. We got to talk to this guy.
So he's using a projected image on the toilet?
I guess. I told you. Yeah. I haven't looked.
Yeah, because we're looking here. It says selling ad space on my toilet until I'm a millionaire. You see him sitting there with a laptop, and it looks like there's some sort of grid projection on his toilet.
Yeah, so it looks like that grid projection was his job. He has videos of doing it at the Franklin Institute and areas around the city.
Okay.
So now he's just doing it at home on his toilet.
So if you see in the second picture, there's something that he's projecting on the back seat.
Marissa, do me a favor and take a look at. Okay, so they're interesting looking ads. It's not just he's not just slapping. It's animation. There's lighting, and all kinds of cool little atmospheric things that he's doing. See how many followers he has on Instagram.
126,000 followers, and that's just on Instagram.
Okay, but he's getting millions of views on his posts, and I gotta believe, dude's making bank. Just by doing this.
At this point, strike while the iron is hot.
Hell yes.
Yeah, I mean, those are some heavy duty advertisers.
And not just that, making money from something like that. This can open up doors for him.
The sink.
Elsewhere. Yeah. Come on. There's a shower.
The
there's
bidet.
a sink. There's all kinds of stuff. Bidets.
Yeah.
That's an emerging
for the new
industry.
movie, Bidets of Thunder 2.
Bidets of Thunder 2.
I follow two people
love
that this reminds me of. One girl makes really cool commercials, like ads, using all sorts of just trick shots and cool things. And she's a star of it. And she'll just do them with random products. Well, companies started hiring her to do it. And then there's another guy who totally rebrands and makes merch for random brands. I want him to do MMR so bad. I think it'd be so cool. He'll just take like Clorox or Cheez-Its and he'll completely make new merch like sweatshirts and t-shirts and belts and
Not
chapstick.
changing their logo, though.
Not changing the logo, but taking the brand and making merch that would be cool for people who enjoy the brand. It's really cool. So people are creative like this. Keep
Dude has
running with it.
found a niche. But I mean, so you're creative and you come up with who thinks it's going to take off?
Here's the deal.
You know what I
There's,
mean?
how many, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, hey, I'm gonna put this ad on my butt, and it didn't take off.
Yeah.
This worked. So it's, again, so many times it's lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
So he should milk the hell out of this.
Totally.
And, make as much as he can.
Yeah.
Steve, you did put a Taco Bell ad on your head,
did.
and that took off.
It did take off. My head is always available for your ad. Honestly.
Don't let sales hear that.
Absolutely. If they want to, sure. You know what? Put solar panels on my head. You can do that.
All right.
Wink, wink.
Well, this guy's Nick Greenwald. Marissa, what's his account called on Instagram?
Sorry, Motion by Nick. He did one for Miralax where it's like all these poop emojis falling around his toilet.
Okay.
And then one of them falls into the toilet.
It's
the
like a
lid
video
goes
game.
down
Yeah.
and it says, get Miralax.
All right, and it's emotion.by.nick. If you
He's
want to
doing
check that out.
some very clever, advanced multimedia stuff.
That
time.
toilet
That-
is so pristine, it looks like it's never been pooped in.
But that takes a lot of work.
Yeah, you have to be
So he's not just
Right.
slapping something on there. He's really
like a
putting some
bumper sticker.
time and effort into it.
yeah.
So good on you,
That's
Nick
cool.
Greenwald. That's really cool. All right, here we go.
Totally Presbo.
Hi, Presbo.
All right, so Steven sent me this a few days ago, and there was a little bit of a debate. This happens from time to time. When you step into the shower, do you face forward or do you face away from the water when you're taking a shower?
I mean, both, right? Oh, when you first step
When you
in?
first step in.
It's when you first step in?
Okay.
If that's the question.
I don't know. I think it's just in general when you're showering.
I step in and I face the water. Then I face the water and I have the water go all over the front of my body. and then I do turn around and have the back. Then I take the hand device off.
The wand.
And then I stand actually facing the door because my shower stall is longer. It's not wide.
I'd spin around, man.
I'd love to see that.
I am constantly moving when I'm in the shower. I am just
kind of the same. Yeah. I mean, you gotta. Do you enjoy just the medicinal aspect of it, or the
warm water?
The warm water,
Absolutely.
I need it every morning. It has to happen. For me to wake up.
It's not just about getting clean.
No.
And that's why Steve and I have always said that we'll shower at the ridiculous hour that we get up in the morning. I mean, I could sleep in an extra 20 minutes if I wanted to, but I need that. There is something about the warm water. It wakes me up. It gets me. It's an indicator that the day has begun. It's time to get going. Let's go.
And by the way, if you have I have a little bit of congestion now. If you're working anything like that, the steam from a hot shower really gets you breathing.
You can drop one of those menthol thingies into the shower as well.
I drop a deuce.
Yeah. I wouldn't do that. You can push it down with your feet.
I think I'm 90% of the time back to the water.
Okay.
I
most
just
of
thought
the time.
about that. Yeah, the only time is if I'm doing a shower where I'm not washing my hair.
Okay.
Then I have to
right.
actively, but face under the water, to me, that's just from a movie. I don't stand like that.
So there's a debate that took place. Somebody posted, and it got the millions, I guess, responses or whatever, people that were very passionate about it. That's the thing.
Yeah, they get
people
way
are very
passionate
about whether or not you face away or towards the water. I don't really think about it.
So when you
and I
go
don't
in
care.
first, you go in first. Are you don't?
I step right in. I step forward. When I step into the shower, it's from the side.
Right.
The shower is going to my right, and so I just step in, and I get the front of me wet first.
I go in. I bow to my corner.
Okay.
Bow to my partner. And do-si-do. But I am like you. I'm kind of spinning. My head's on a swivel and I'm ready for action.
I mean, Preston, your wife is a psychopath. I think you're pretty psychotic as well, but your wife
She doesn't do it every time.
Okay.
And this is a very rare breed of someone who steps into the shower without it on, naked, and turns on the water.
Man, God bless her.
I don't know how you can do that.
I wonder why I once I'm in the shower and I've acclimated to the temperature of the
Right.
water, like I could stay in there forever, right? I don't. I'm very, very quick with everything. But I don't know why, and because I was such a water baby as a kid, like in a lifeguard pool and all that. But like my body has such an aversion to
Getting wet that way?
getting wet.
Why don't you just bathe in your swim spa?
Yeah, but even getting into the swim or a hot tub, it doesn't matter if it's cold, warm, whatever. Like my reaction is such a negative reaction to.
Explain that again. I'm sorry. I was reading a text message.
No, my body has this aversion to being submerged or being doused with water. Like immediately, like I have to.
You have to ease your way
I have
in.
to ease my way into it. It doesn't matter what the temperature of the water is.
Is it the difference between like being rained on and or getting into a bathtub or a pool?
All of it.
All right.
And so with a pool, there's nothing you could do about it, right? I can't ease into a pool. I have to jump into a pool and then just that initial shock. And like I said, it doesn't matter if the pool is 80 degrees, 90 degrees. Actually, maybe 90 might be like the perfect temperature or something like that. But with a shower, I have to let it run. It has to be warm. And then even when I just step in, I'm like, oh, here I go. I know I'm not going to like this.
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to like the first 5 seconds of this. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm so specific about the temperature. I'll get in facing. It's just like it's a normal like tub shower, and I'll only let like my thighs down get wet. And then if it's not the right temperature, I'll use my toe and I'll kick the faucet to make it, because it's like there's like a very special like just like a little tap. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, no, up, tap, tap, tap.
Yeah, some are very sensitive, and you got to just do it, move them incrementally. How long do you let your shower warm up before you get in?
I'm going to say about.
I do it while I'm brushing my teeth.
Yeah, it was likewise. About 2 minutes, 2 3
Yeah, me
minutes.
too.
Yeah.
I brush my teeth for about 2 minutes, and that's how long I let the water.
I like to see steam on the inside of the glass.
It seems like such a waste. But I'm the same way. My friend,
I put tea bags in there.
Well, my friend who lives in L.A., when they were going through horrible droughts a few years ago, what they would put like like essentially a bucket in there to collect all that water, and then they would use that water to either water their flowers or garden, or that would be their dog's drinking water.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what, Casey? I was thinking about your aversion to immediately getting in and have to ease in. I'm the other way. When I turn off the shower, I'm like, okay, it's going to be cold for a moment. And I'm not looking forward to that.
Do you stand in the shower and reach in and grab a towel?
I do.
I will reach out, grab the towel in the shower. I will dry my torso and my arms, and then I go out into the cold world.
My wife was asking me, she's like, why do you spend so much time in the shower when it's over? So
Nothing over.
Well, two different things. I let some of the water like kind of drip off of me first, but then for that shock that from being in a warm shower into a cold bathroom, I'm basically dry by the time I get out of the shower.
If I forget to put a towel out,
oh my God,
and I have to run to the closet and get it, I will run back into the shower and dry off in the shower.
Yeah, it's a good call. By the way, in this debate that went back and forth, it's pretty split. As far as facing forward and facing back. So there's no clear winner on this. Everybody was pretty divided, but very passionate about how they shower. So thought it was worth
Part of your ritual, your bathroom ritual.
mentioning. I've been given the wrap-up signal.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Yeah, we got to wrap things up.
Totally Presbo.
Bye, Presbo.
The reason we have to wrap up is because we have coming up your shot at winning $1,000, and that is with No Sad Dome. We'll have your first keyword, which we'll get to as close to 8 o'clock as we can. Bizarre File stories are on the way. But if you haven't heard about this, we have tickets to give away to the Flyers game tonight, and we're doing it via the secret text word. It's simple. Text the word Flyers to 610-660-9333. We will send you a secret text word, and then at some point this morning, we'll ask you to be a designated caller. And if you happen to be that caller and you give us that secret text word, you're going to the game tonight.
Awesome.
They could button. I think they're going to button this up tonight, man. I think this is going to happen. So make sure that you do that right now, and we got your shot at winning. There was something else I wanted to mention.
Going with Fox?
Excuse me?
We're going on with Fox today?
We are going on with Fox, but it was not that.
Fly.
Oh, yeah. Our 58th birthday is today, and we are playing cuts from the MM archives. I wanted to know what we're playing next.
Oh, you know what? Their first ever performance in the United States, Royal Blood.
Nice.
Yeah, it was here in our studio, so very cool. We're going to take a quick break, come back in a second. B-File, Fox 29, and more. We shall return shortly. 64% said illicit drug use, such as marijuana and cocaine, would be commonplace. You got the marijuana part right.
Absolutely.
61% said that people would routinely live to be 100 years old. Not quite that.
Yeah.
60% said that AIDS would be cured.
Well, we're there.
Pretty much happened.
Pretty much it.
Yeah.
I mean, they stopped. This is the last year for the AIDS walk.
Yeah, and the AIDS fund is over. Yeah, so 59% believe that cancer would be cured by now. They're making inroads, but that's not, obviously, that hasn't
Just reading
happened.
an article that there are more people surviving cancer now than ever before.
I'm sure, yeah. This 56% said that most stores would be replaced by shopping on the internet.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of that has happened.
Getting there, yeah.
52% most people said most people would do their jobs from home.
A lot
of that has happened. And 51% said the United States would be involved in a full-scale war between then and now, 1998 and now, 1998 and now. What they thought would be less likely to happen. Do I have time?
Yes.
Okay. 38% or 67% that cars would not be largely replaced by mass transportation, so that hasn't happened. Cloning of humans would be commonplace.
Not the case.
But 60% said no, it would not be the case. 65% said that most people would not be self-employed.
What about unequivocal confirmation of space gorillas?
That wasn't asked.
All right.
Although it said 68% believe that humans would not have or received contact from alien life forms by now.
So it falls under that category.
Yeah, most believe there are a few bright spots in Americans' outlook. Most believed that race relations would improve and that medical care would be more available if less affordable. Well, neither one of those has happened. And also, they didn't think that space travel would be common for ordinary Americans, but they got that right. So it's kind of interesting peek back and look at 1998 and what people thought would happen by 2025. And that's your survey. It was an overcast day when I pulled into the area on January 12th, 1996. I drove from St. Louis. I packed up all my stuff in my Camaro.
Yes,
and
perfect car to move in
and hit the road. And I paused on the way. I didn't drive straight through. It's like a 16-hour drive or
world's
something.
biggest ball of yarn.
There are things to see. No, I stopped in Wheeling, West Virginia, and I stayed for one night. And then the next day I get up and I made my drive into the area, and then I set up camp, and I've been here for 30 years. So it marks that timestamp today.
It is well worth taking time, and as we said earlier, and we repeated a couple times in case people are saying, wow, Preston's really going off on this. We were the ones that wanted to do this because it just seemed like an interesting ability because of the realizing that the blizzard of 96 was right at the time you came here.
Yeah.
And you rarely get that time to kind of just sort of, everyone was getting nostalgic anyway, looking at all the pictures and the archival pictures, the Inquirer and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, my life shifted dramatically in all fantastic ways, and we were also lauding the power of the city of Philadelphia and the great people of Philadelphia who've done so much for all of us in immeasurable ways, and it was worth, as we thought, paying tribute to that.
It was a leap of faith in my world and my wife specifically. We'd only been dating for like 2 months, and she agreed to move here.
She hadn't gotten the detective's report back on you.
Not yet. No, we were still waiting for that to clear, so she had no idea. But thus is the world of living in radio at the time can be very transient. You can expect to pack up your stuff and leave and go to another city because formats change, positions get switched out, and then all this. So I was not planning on this being my forever. at the time because I was just being realistic about it. I'll probably stay here for a few years and then I'll have to go somewhere else, But
it would be safe to say that the impetus for the move and the leap of faith was greatly fueled by your belief in this gentleman we're going to talk to.
Yes, definitely. And speaking of that, Steve, you had asked, do I remember what that day was like when I pulled into town? I absolutely do. It was gray. It was overcast. There was snow on the ground everywhere.
About
the
3
streets.
feet.
The streets were clear. Everything was good. It was very drivable. I didn't have any problem with that. So that was a big concern that I had. But I eventually made my way to the Pennsylvania Turnpike. I get off at the Willow Grove exit on 611. And it was at that point. Now, mind you, you didn't have GPS.
Right, yeah.
Cell phones were still sketchy at that time. So I pulled over and I went to a payphone somewhere. There's a gas station or something. I pulled over and I called the gentleman who we're going to talk to now. And I said, how do I get to the radio station? And then he gave me the directions the rest of the way and from there. So that's how it worked out.
Just follow the old people.
Yeah, to the Benson East building.
Yeah.
But the guy that gave me a job, that changed my life, that created the career that I have now, is joining us now. It's our good friend and former boss, Mr. Jim McGuinn, who's joining us via Zoom this morning. Hey, Jim.
Hey, guys. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Nice to see you, brother.
Hey, don't worry. In another 30 years, you'll actually be considered a local. So you're almost there. You're halfway.
It takes a
Being
while.
a Philadelphian.
Yeah, it takes a while, most definitely. Jim, by the way, how much sooner than I were you in Philadelphia? Like maybe a month or something like that?
Yeah, no, I got here around, I think it was Halloween. I feel like G Love was playing as I was like a show in town the day I drove into town. And I was like, I've heard of G Love. Like that's how new I was as well. Because I moved here. Yeah, like end of October, 95. Yeah.
Jim and I knew each other from St. Louis. He programmed another radio station. I worked at a separate station, but I was in the programming department. So we met each other at concerts, at events, things like that. We knew each other through record people, and we played golf a few times.
We played golf together, and I think you get to know somebody when you're doing that, right? And even though you were Kenny Knight, the top 40 guy, I was like, oh, that guy's pretty cool. Do I call him Kenny? Do I call him Preston? I still feel that way a little bit.
Well, there's a little bit of Kenny in everyone.
And you know what? What kind of did it? So Jim got the opportunity to move to Philadelphia and helm WDRE. I had gotten word that he was leaving, so I just called and left a voicemail, and I said, hey, man, sorry to hear you're leaving, but then again, I'm glad you're leaving. Because he was a formidable competitor.
He was tearing
He'd done
it up.
wonderful things with the radio station, the Point in St. Louis. And I'm like, I'm kind of glad you're leaving, and I'm not happy you're leaving. Anyway, and I said, good luck. And then, like, the next day, I get a call back, and he's like, hey, you didn't need to do that. That was really nice. And you go, and you were in a unique position that you needed to hire an entire staff.
Yeah, so, and Steve knows the story as well. So DRE was a station that was actually owned by the people that owned WLIR in Long Island. And it was simulcasting mostly from the Long Island station. And my whole pitch to
let's see. I have them turned up. I'm not hearing anything. So we should be hearing them right about now.
No, in about a minute.
A minute. I thought you said we had 30 seconds a moment ago. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit longer. It's going swimmingly today.
Listen,
there's 58th birthday of WMMR.
I mean, we're honoring it by making sure that we honor radio. Listen, there's a lot going on. There's so much that's being given away, and there's so much in motion. It's hard to juggle it all.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was this exact same way 58 years ago.
Probably was.
Yeah.
No, but we do have Flyers tickets to give away today. That's going swimmingly well. So if you are interested, we're doing a secret text word. So text the word Flyers to 610-660-9333, and we're going to send a secret text word back to you, and then we'll ask you to call in with that word later on this morning to win those tickets to tonight's game. Now we should hear some music here. Any moment. And now we'll go on TV.
Hey, Preston and Steve, let's talk about your neighbors, because I was looking at an article in the Philadelphia Inquirer, and the title of the article was, "My neighbors are too chatty. How do I go home without being rude?" So, Preston, let's start with you. Do you live in a suburban setting?
I do. Yes, sir.
Driveways and stuff like that, you have neighbors.
I do. Yep. And I'm lucky I have very good neighbors. It wasn't always the case. We had a neighbor next door that was not a good neighbor, not a chatty neighbor, but just not a good neighbor. But anyhow, I don't really have people that eat up my time. If I see my neighbors, a quick conversation is usually what gets it done. So I'm lucky in that regard.
Yeah, because when you get home, and you guys get up so early, you probably just want to go in and rest or take a nap or something like that.
You're tapped
Steve,
out.
what about you?
Well, my neighbors are great, but if I want to kind of divert that possibility, I get out of the car like this, going, I'm on the phone. It's clearly my hand.
Yeah, he's just using his hand, not an actual phone. He just
I
pretends.
just point to the hand, and they go, "Wait, that's no, we're being insulted." Thank God I don't have the overly chatty people, but you know what? I mean, it's okay to deflect or say, "Listen, great talking to you. Got to run. I have to go into the house and sit alone in a room."
Exactly. Or I have to pee.
Yes.
Just run.
Oh, well, you just raised the number one. I've got diarrhea.
Yes.
No, it cuts through everything.
Yep.
No one needs the explanation. We're good.
Now, Casey, what about you? Do you start singing?
Oh yeah, that's what I do. And then they're like, and then they go, I gotta go. I have this thing.
I'm working on a new song.
Yeah. No, but listen, I do know somebody that they have a neighbor that they call the time burglar. Oh. And the time burglar doesn't care what you're doing. You could be carrying groceries. You could be in the middle of mowing your lawn. As a matter of fact, somebody was painting the front of their house.
That someone was you, wasn't it?
The time burglar doesn't even know this person, and this person had to get off of the ladder that they were painting so that they could talk to the time burglar. And the time burglar doesn't know how to. They know how to start a conversation, but they sure as heck don't know how to finish a conversation or end a conversation.
I mean,
Where you start doing that. All righty then. Okay.
There are some people and some people on the spectrum that don't pick up on social cues, and you can be giving them the most obvious signs that I am done now, and they're still not picking up.
Have you ever tried the "let's take this into the bedroom"?
Yeah.
Is Marissa in there today?
Yes.
Yeah. Living in a building makes it all different because you're stuck in an elevator with somebody for a few moments.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll just kind of stay on my phone, like hard in if I don't feel like talking. But sometimes it's nice to just say hello and how's the weather. Or if they have a dog, it's very easy to just play with the dog.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. It is nice to have great neighbors that you can rely on.
Yes.
You know, if something does go wrong.
It's a quality of life, and being and looking forward to seeing them is a nice thing. And I have to say, I think we all have sort of the same situation. It's been that way for a number of years because the alternative is horrific.
Yes.
Well, you could also extrapolate this to the work environment. I'm sure there's people that everybody avoids at work.
I guess. Yeah. There are people. Would you say there's anybody you don't want to talk to at work?
Not around here. I mean, there has been. I've worked at radio stations where I definitely didn't want to encounter
Give us the
certain people.
names of the people you don't like to talk to currently.
We've gotten crazy lucky here.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Hey, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. We'll see you soon. All right, so it's time.
Oh, yeah, I got to move some things around here. Sorry.
Yeah,
about that.
it's 8 o'clock, and that means we got money to give away. We got $1,000 to be even more specific, so let's go for it.
93.3 WMMR Philadelphia. It's time for keyword.
And the keyword is contest. All right, CONTEST, which is what we're doing right now. And you have until 25 minutes after the hour to enter it. You can do it on the MMR app at WMMR.com. You can also text it to our special contest short code number 45911. All right, so text the word contest to 45911. One random entry wins $1,000 in our company-wide contest. And winners will get a call from Beasley, so make sure that you answer your phone. Contest rules at WMMR.com. And the No Sad No is sponsored by Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union. Your next chance to win doesn't come up till 10, so don't wait a couple hours. Do this now. Enter the word contest. We wish you luck. We skipped traffic at the top. Let's get that now, see what we're dealing with. Marissa, what's going on this morning?
Road construction on 42 northbound has us jammed from Blackwood Clemington Road to 41. Then some slowing on the Blue Route northbound from 95 to the Media Bypass, southbound from Mid-County Toll Plaza to Ridge. Vine Street Expressway westbound from 95 out to the Schuylkill eastbound the Boulevard out to Vine westbound from Passyunk to 30th Street. And the Boulevard out to Gladwin, then 95 southbound from Cotman Avenue to the Vine and PA Turnpike westbound Willow Grove to Fort Washington. This traffic report is brought to you by Wawa. Wawa's $6 meal deal is back. Get a sandwich, small fountain drink, and Hers chips, all for $6. Limited time, gotta have a Wawa. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, beat file time.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Helium Comedy Club, bringing the laughs to Philly for over 20 years. Helium Comedy Club has the best comics of today and tomorrow live every week. Tickets and lineup at heliumcomedy.com. A New York woman faces up to 25 years in prison after she was found guilty, of throwing a stick of dynamite into her boyfriend's bedroom, causing him to lose a hand.
Whoa.
The jury found 35-year-old Kenyatta Waddle guilty of first-degree assault and criminal possession of a weapon.
Where's your dynamite?
The trial stemmed from a 2024 incident in which prosecutors say Waddle threw a stick of dynamite into her boyfriend's bedroom while he slept after the two got into an argument. Prosecutors said the victim was awoken by a hissing sound.
Oh, man, the fuse?
Saw a flame on the floor of his bedroom. When he got up, he found a stick of dynamite and tried to extinguish it, but was unsuccessful. The victim then picked up the dynamite in an attempt to throw it outside. However, prosecutors say it detonated in his hand, caused searing pain and the loss of the hand.
Is there any way that was a playful gesture?
And doctors had to amputate part of his arm. The victim saw Waddle fleeing his apartment on foot after the incident. It would have been better if he got his foot. I mean, his name is Waddle, right?
Yeah.
She was arrested the next day, and prosecutors say that it was revealed that she had threatened her boyfriend with dynamite several times.
Where the hell does that come from? A dynamite fan?
Yeah, and I'm sorry. Where do you acquire dynamite?
I gotta imagine Costco.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
She faces up to 25 years in prison. She will be sentenced on May 27th.
Oh, you know I have dynamite.
A 60-ton animatronic dinosaur burst into flames at a Kansas theme park over the weekend after it was struck by lightning.
Oh, man.
The 100-foot-long, 3-story Sora Poseidon replica was destroyed at Field Station Dinosaurs in Derby, Kansas. Fire crews were dispatched to multiple reports of a lightning strike on a dinosaur. The department said that they arrived to heavy fire billowing from the massive 3-story structure. However, they were able to contain the blaze and keep it from spreading throughout the park. They added the dinosaur is the park's largest herbivore from the early Cretaceous period, with a total length of roughly 100 feet, weighing nearly 60 tons.
Was the actual creature itself not resistant to lightning?
The fire department said crews were able to gain access and prevent the fire from spreading to other dinosaurs, thus sparing the extinction-level event.
We got a burning dinosaur over here.
They said this is the first dinosaur fire Derby has experienced in 65 million years.
Been running this park for years, never had a dinosaur set on fire.
The message concluded by noting that Field Station Dinosaurs was still planning to open the next day. And
they're not real.
We're still 39 other dinosaurs to see.
That sounds like a pretty impressive collection.
It does. In the aftermath of the fire, Stephen Howe, the operations manager, said they're considering restoring the structure. However, it's going to be both expensive endeavor and a challenging one. He said, we're talking hundreds of $1,000s. They'll need to find an artist who can attach foam to the steel frame and mold it by hand, and they need to replace the wiring as well. So
just leave it up there and put a sign that says post-asteroid hit.
I like that. A pregnant passenger gave birth aboard a recent flight from Atlanta to Portland on Friday.
Home to Oregon.
That's right. Yes, Portland, Oregon.
That's the baby.
Delta confirmed the baby's birth aboard DL-478 about 30 minutes prior to landing at Portland International Airport, thanking the doctor and 2 nurses who stepped in to assist the Delta flight crew. In audio from the flight, a crew member can be heard saying the baby has been delivered on the aircraft, so they're going to be coming in with the baby delivered. According to Delta, the crew requested priority handling with air traffic control, and the plane, which was carrying 153 customers and 4 flight attendants, was met by EMS after the landing.
You're going to need to check that.
The airline added that its crew members undergo comprehensive medical training for such situations. And in fact, Delta said on its website that it has not imposed restrictions on flying if you're pregnant, noting that it doesn't require any sort of medical certificate for pregnant passengers to travel.
That's pretty wild. So I wonder how extensive that training is. I mean, could they perform mid-air breast augmentation?
Or breast augmentation. Maybe. French officials are investigating after $34,000 was won on a weather bet following claims that a temperature sensor at Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris was tampered with. Readings at the airport spiked twice in April at the same time as bets with large winnings were placed on Polymarket, the world's largest prediction market.
Yes.
Several crypto outlets and trader publications speculated that a hairdryer could have been used to create a false temperature reading. Weather forums suggested the device could have been battery powered. However, the claims are unverified at this point. It was on April 6th and 15th that peak temperatures were recorded that were significantly higher figures than expected. A reading of 21 Celsius was recorded at 7 p.m. and 22 Celsius at 9:30 p.m. respectively. The chances of temperature being above 18 on both days have been estimated at 1%, meaning that anyone who had bet on the unlikely outcome would have seen a huge payoff. One trader won $21,000.
Wow.
The total number of successful bets totaling $34,000.
So these are all these bizarre prop bets that you could, as proven here, determine the outcome.
Mm-hmm. The data source for Paris's highest temperature has reportedly been shifted to the Paris-Le Bourget airport. Polymarket has previously been accused of enabling insider trading as well. So this is one of those cases. All right. Speaking of betting, when you buy a lottery ticket touting a jackpot over $3 million, you naturally have your hopes set on winning the big prize. What you don't count on, however, is if over 13,000 people pick the exact same number that you did.
Stop it. Really?
What are the odds?
In North Carolina, the pick three numbers recently came up as 888, a trio of numbers that 13,750 ticket buyers felt were their lucky digits.
Wow.
And instead of $13.1 million each, the winners were able to walk away with $250.
Man!
I know, dude. Your numbers come up.
Crazy, and you win
Numbers
under
come
$1,000.
It's a nice win at a 50-cent ticket, but nobody's going to retire on that.
Jeez.
Nope.
Wow. All right, and there you go. That's where we wrap up our bizarre file this morning. All right, a few things to remind you of. The text word for No Sad Dough is contest. Make sure that you send that over. You can do it through the app. You can do it through the website, or you can text it to 45911. You have until 25 minutes after the hour to do that. We have a few people joining us. Big changes in the fills. So we're going to have our buddy Ricky Bo stopping by this morning. We are also going to talk to Gene Simmons for 5 whole minutes. And comedian Brad Williams is going to be on the program, too. And actually, when we get back, we got a couple things we're going to do. Our friend Taryn Hatcher is checking in because she's got this charity event that's coming up.
It's very cool.
Chat with her in just a minute and a few other things. And the Flyers tickets. Yes, I know it's a lot on your plate. We're throwing a lot at you right now. But if you want to go to the game tonight, we're doing a secret text word. Text the word Flyers to 610-660-9333. We'll send you a special word. We'll ask you to call in later with that word to win those tickets. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us.
The station had terrible ratings in Philadelphia. I said, maybe you should put some local hosts on that could program it for Philly instead of these Long Island folks. And so they agreed. And so I had to put a whole staff together. And that wasn't easy.
Isn't it amazing to think, Jim, that the same thing that sullies a lot of the industry is that, well, we'll just broadcast from another location, was the argument that you fought successfully against, created a version of DRE that easily eclipsed the New York version at that time. There was a lot of indecisiveness that was going on. So, and then DRE became this buzz station, and so you're off and running.
Yeah, and I lived in Philly for 3 months back in like '91, and so I had a smidge of understanding, but not much. And I'd also lived in Vermont, so when the blizzard hit, I was like, what do you mean you can't make it into the radio station? Don't you have 4-wheel drive in your car? Haven't you ever driven in a 3-foot snowstorm before?
I remember you telling me when I got there that you ended up like sleeping at the radio station and people had to pull doubles and just to make it work.
And I mean, the Benson East was quite a luxurious radio station compound that we were operating out of.
It was. I mean, I love the stories of people who arrived because Preston was recounting last week as we were sort of talking about doing this thing today. Jim is said, "Well, this is going to be obviously this is going to be a high tech. This is going to be the pinnacle. It's a major market, and it was." It was like lower than the lowest. Again, it was in a facility that was essentially a retirement complex. There were a few restaurants. It's just a bizarre collection of businesses and things. And then there you were. But in as much as that was the case, it also helped breed the attitude that you were looking to cultivate.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely an us against the world kind of thing, or us against our own company, who were nice people. But it was just like, why they put the radio station there? I mean, it's hard to get to Jenkintown from almost anywhere in the Philadelphia metro, and we had to go there every day. And this is before you had, automation and voice tracking, and the overnight person had to get there and be there live. Everybody was there all the time. Yeah.
So, Jim, I came here sight unseen. I packed my stuff and I came. I never visited. I trusted.
I guess I'm a better salesperson than I thought.
I trusted Jim, and not only did I have dreams of a gleaming high tech studio with all the bells and whistles and toys, but not only that,
I better get my monorail pass.
I also had a dream of the concrete jungle in the city, skyscrapers. I'll be in the middle of it all right here downtown.
Yeah.
And I pull into Jenkintown and that building, and I'm like, wow, okay, all right, so I'm not there because I didn't ask any questions. I just showed up, and then I walk into the actual studio, and Brett Hamilton was on the air. He was our midday guy, and I was so disappointed. And he could see it on my face because I'm sitting there and I'm just kind of looking around. I'm looking at this crappy blue foam on the walls and, all of these, and taking it in. And Brett, without me saying a word to him, he just looks at me and goes, yeah, I thought the same thing when I first came in here, too. I was like, wow. He read my mind immediately. But what it ended up being is a really charming place. It had a kind of a, I don't know, it had a vibe to it that was just, like Jim said, us against the world.
That was it, clearly.
And kind of ragtag, and let's make this thing whatever we want it to be.
And there were a number of ways to break at that time. You could be inauthentic about it, or you could be the real deal. And Jim McGuinn and DRE at that time was the real deal. Mm-hmm. And it came across, that's why it still is spoken of in reverent terms these days, because it was that. But I mean, to talk about what happened with Preston, and you, Jim, and I got the opportunity to tell you at the Camp Out for Hunger a couple of years ago, I owe the same debt of gratitude to you. It was you pairing us together, and you sort of seeing this and allowing the opportunity, and then that set everything in motion.
The work you guys have done over the decades here is just amazing. So congratulations on, 30 years, almost 30 years for you guys. 28 or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
So unbelievable.
But for those who don't know,
or dumb luck, or maybe it's just dumb luck. I don't know.
Let's go with dumb luck.
Yeah. When you're accepting the award, you say, I saw it all. And then when you're with your friends, you go, it was just dumb luck.
Yeah.
But for those who don't know, Jim not only programmed WDRE, but then when that station went under, and it was a whole corporate thing that ended up happening because of that, some of us segued over to Y100, and Jim was the program director there for the remainder of the radio station. So we worked together for a long time, and he assembled the Preston and Steve show. The Casey, Kathy, Nick, Marissa, Preston, Steve, the whole crew came together because of Jim.
I remember calling down for a gig I was going after in New York, Jim, and I was just asking you your, if you had some behind-the-scenes intelligence you could relate to me. And he said, Preston's on the show down here, and I'd done the Riverdeck Cafe, the remote broadcast at DRE. Yeah. I said, hey, would you, let's see about that. And I remember, And, I knew that's, because it was just that vibe. I don't know if you can appreciate it, and you probably can. You've had people who have obviously been mentors in your life or that have done this. But, we were talking about the sheer bizarre domino nature of things, the way they need to fall to basically tectonically change Preston's life, to change my life. Yeah, and you were unaware that you were holding that key.
I had no idea. Well, none of us had any idea this would turn out the way it did, right? But
yeah.
I do remember, and I found this a couple years ago when I moved back to Philadelphia from Minnesota. And Preston, are you okay if I share just a little smidge of the thing? We reached out, and I found the offer letter that I sent you.
Yeah.
To come to afternoons.
Yeah.
I was like, it was like, Dear Kenny Knight. And it said, we'd like you to come to afternoons at DRE. And I'm pretty sure the number was $45,000 a year. Like, we can pay you a whopping total of $45,000 a year if you would move all the way across the country. And I think we gave you like $1,000 moving expenses. Yep. And that was it.
Yeah, to pull up stakes, to shift your life.
Ask your girlfriend to move to Philly on that and come to Jenkintown, work in this facility, and good luck. And but we're going to play a lot of Oasis records, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
I have the letter. It's framed. I have it at home.
Oh,
so,
all right.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's up on the wall.
It was like all the big bucks for you, Preston. and then, Steve. I mean, you think about this. Like, you used to drive down from New York to do that remote gig in Manayunk, and you were just really funny together. And it was like, wow, that guy Steve, he's pretty funny. We should do something with him someday. And when we first got the show together, you were still commuting back and forth. You had not committed.
I had not committed
for a while.
No, and we had just, Claire and I were just gotten married, and she had gotten a gig up there, and I was telling Preston, I remember pulling into Manayunk down to do that thing at the Riverdeck Cafe. So it was a live party broadcast, quote unquote, with a happy hour. Nobody's in the club at that time. And Preston was back at DRE, and I go down and do this stuff. I'd never done stuff like that before. But I remember pulling into Manayunk the first time I'd ever seen it, and I'm like, who the hell would live here? Only for me to live there for years. I fell in love with Manayunk. Yeah. So that's the nature of life,
Yeah.
Preston, what's the story about changing your name? Because if the letter was to Kenny Knight,
Kenny
Knight's not too much of an alt name, but whose decision was it to go by Preston Elliott?
No, I wanted to go back. I wanted to use my real name, my real first name, and I changed my last name. And actually, Sarah Clark, who did mornings on DRE, kind of helped me out with that. I threw a few names at her, and she's like, I like that one. So Elliot is what I ended up going with.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that time you had all the rage in the alt community was Monkey Boy and Altar Boy and all of
Casey
these
Boy.
pseudonyms.
Casey Boy.
Yeah.
Jim was Rumor Boy.
Rumor Boy.
Yes.
Oh
my God.
What's the story behind that?
Well,
I don't even remember. Why? I mean, it just makes no sense.
You would give us inside music information that you would hear from record people about, rumblings.
There's a rumor.
There's a rumbling that Sponge is going to be, they're going to be writing a new album next year, whatever it is. But it would be Rumor Boy, and we would bring him on. Yeah.
So, Press, how long was your tenure at DRE? I know that ultimately the radio station went away, and then I want to ask about the transition from that, Jim, to Y100.
DRE was a shade over a year.
Okay, wow.
That was it. But I mean, man, when I tell you that the memories are vivid and significant to me.
Seems longer than that.
It was so much fun, and I can't believe we crammed all that into a year.
That's a mind blower, because I felt like we were doing that Riverdeck thing for longer, but it couldn't have been more than 7-8 months.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Jesus,
it was that one summer, right? Because it wouldn't have been through the winter, I don't think.
Yeah,
we had no budget. We had a terrible signal. We had no budget. We were this very left of center musical outlet that had a lot of young adults that liked, but it was kind of hopeless unless we made stuff happen. But we did weird stuff. I mean, we had a football game with listeners. We played soccer against the Cure. We had the whole tripping
with Vinny, tripping Thursdays. The King.
We did all this insane stuff.
The King of DRE Fest. Do you remember that?
Yeah, we had some guy who got to intro a band,
and we carried him around on our shoulders and stuff, and we did.
And we lived it, we lived that culture. That's the thing, is we were there all the time.
That's why it rang true.
We had a number of great guests stop by. I'll just rattle off a few of them, but I remember had Fred Schneider in the studio. I had the Talking Heads in the studio. I had Brian Setzer stop by. One of the first artist interactions I did with a female singer named Poe. She was there that first week. School of Fish. Man, it went on and on. We had so many people stop by.
You were and it was one of the great things. We talk about LIR, Jim.
Marissa, last minute addition to the guest lineup today. We got a lot of people that are on the program today, and we were happy to have her on because we love her on our program. And her mom loves us. I mean, come on. She had been a reporter for the Phillies and NBC Sports for years. Ladies and gentlemen, Taryn Hatcher.
Yeah.
Hi, Taryn.
Hi, guys. I just woke up.
All right.
My mom's going to be so mad that I'm on Zoom looking like this, but Marissa texted me and I was like, oh my God, of course, my friends. I'll hop on whenever you want.
You look terrific, but go ahead.
On your worst, I would take what you have on your worst day, so shut up about that.
Ugly
Your
people.
hair looks amazing.
Well, no, I'm going to tell you, my hair, I woke up and I was like, okay, at least my hair looks okay because I can just cover my face up a little bit. But no, you guys are very sweet liars. I'll take it. Thank you.
No, we appreciate it. You saw the article in the Inquirer today. That's what kind of sparked this whole thing. And you have this wonderful charity thing you're doing, which is kind of cool and kind of unique to your life experience. Explain what you're doing.
Oh, it just froze up. All right. I'll give you the rundown a little bit and see if this refreshes here in a second. But she has gotten all this merch over the years working with, in NBC Sports Philadelphia, and all the sports teams have given her all of this incredible merchandise over the years. Are we back live now? Yeah. Okay. We lost you for a second, Taryn.
Yeah,
right,
I'm back.
I'm going to let you set it up, what you're doing.
So I just was...
Oh, man. We keep freezing here.
Damn.
All right.
Damn.
Well, anyhow, she's gotten all this great merch over the years from the sports teams, and more than she'll ever wear or need. And in fact, probably hasn't worn most of it. There's so much of it that she wants to auction it off for charity.
Yes, for the PSPCA.
PSPCA.
Yeah.
She's a big fan of animals and animal charities and all that stuff.
It's like we're watching a slideshow of Taryn Hatcher right now.
I know. Every 10 seconds it refreshes.
It's like the opening to a sitcom.
Yeah, every time you would see Taryn on a broadcast, she'd have a new piece of gear that they were showing off from the store. And she would wear all these fun outfits, and she'd probably just wear them once or twice if she did wear them at all. And she's, not asking for a lot, just, $5, $10, $15, $20, maybe for some really nicer pieces, a little bit more. And it's all going to the PCA.
All right, let me see. Can you hear us now, Taryn? No?
I am back inside.
All right. There we go. You were outside. Okay. Gotcha.
Stand near the microwave.
Yeah.
I was trying to get outside in case my dog started barking. Yeah, so I've washed half of it, and when I counted last night what I'd washed and steamed, I was at 60 pieces. And then I think I probably have another 40, 50 that are about to get washed today. And then very exciting addition, Tom McCarthy, so sweet, texted me the other day, and he said, hey, do you want any men's gear? Because I have stuff from previous seasons they don't sell in the men's store anymore, and he was wanting to contribute. And I was like, sure, absolutely. And he texted me this morning, and he was like, hey, are you good to pick up the gear today if you still want it? And I was like, absolutely. So we will have some men's stuff now too, which is very, very kind of Tom, because a lot of people reached out that were wondering about men's gear. And I was like, guys, I'm sorry. I only have my sizes. I only have women's clothes. But I'm still saving the stuff that I really like. People think I'm getting rid of everything. I'm not. I get sent a lot of PR, which is funny because I feel like the more you have, the more you get for free. So I don't need to keep it. I'd rather someone else have it who wants it.
Yeah, agreed. We're sort of in the same boat. It's a wonderful thing, and it's a wonderful perk, and you get these very unique things. But when you can have someone who's a rabid fan who would not have the chance to get that close to something like that and pass it along, it's wonderful. So this is really a very unique opportunity.
Yeah, and everything, I think, I know people were saying, do it bidding style to raise more money for the PSPCA. I really don't want to do that because that eliminates, kind of the people I wanted to get this stuff to. So I think everything's probably going to be between, $10 and $35 donation requests. We're going to limit it to, 2-3 items per person because some people are, wanting to come and buy up a lot.
Right.
And that's just not fair. So basically you show up, we'll have the QR code for the PSPCA, Jillian from the PSPCA, who I'm sure you guys have overlapped with.
Right.
She'll be there. We'll have the QR code for their Venmo right there. You want two $10 pieces, Venmo the PSPCA $20, show me your Venmo, and you can go pick out whatever two $10 pieces you want. You want two $30 pieces, donate $30, however you want to do it. Connie will be there. She's excited to be a part of it.
She'll be handling the Venmo, right?
That's her mom. That's Sharon's mom. I love that you're doing it. I love you're doing it this way. I love you're doing it this way because it's sometimes you go to auctions and you just don't get the item that you want.
You get priced right out.
It's just too much.
Yeah, if you can make it more egalitarian, it's the best way to do it.
Yeah, and I feel bad because the timing is 4 to 6. I know it's hard for people. If you're going to get there at like 6:30, we'll realistically still be there.
By the way, I haven't mentioned, so when and where. So it's tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Excuse me. Tomorrow, 4 o'clock at Scamps?
We'll say tomorrow starting at 4, TBD when it will actually end, at Scamps Pizza, which is run out of the Philly-style bagels location in Old City. So I think it's 219 or 218 Arch. It's a big space. You'll see it. And we just really like their pizza. I buy their pizza. And I went in there one time and one of the girls who I believe her husband is one of the people who like runs it, started it. She stopped me and she was like, you have to come back in like 15 minutes. My mom's on the way. Her mom was my high school track coach. So now I just have this like personal connection to them and they're in my neighborhood and they're local and small business, and they reached out right away and they were like, we don't need any money. We don't need anything for it. We would just be really happy if you wanted to do this here. And I was like, oh my God, you guys are so nice.
That's awesome. And let me ask you a quick question because I'd seen on the news, there was this story, it got some traction. This guy had abandoned a whole bunch of puppies. And I know this sort of influenced the whole creation of this. Are these tied together with that? Is that story that you're involved with?
Yeah. So I was thinking about how I wanted to do this with the clothes for a while. And like a part of me just wanted to go take it to Goodwill. The problem with that for me was I know a lot of girls, and they're smart for doing this, but a lot of people who like have money that go to Goodwill and thrift stuff cheaply that don't really need it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like, I don't think I want to just dump 100 things there. It doesn't feel right. I want to make sure something good is coming out of this. And then I saw the story Jill had posted about the 2 boxes of puppies not boxes, they were left out. And then someone put them in a box that were dumped right by Scamps. And I thought like, you know what? I've worked with the PSPCA for like 8 years. I've done stories for the Phillies on the PSPCA and how they've partnered with them. So I know it's a charity they approve of also because it is their gear that they gifted me. So I want to be thoughtful of them and, charitable endeavors that they endorse. And then, whatever's left is going to go to a women's shelter. Now I have men's stuff for a men's shelter too. So I'll have to figure that out. But yeah, it was, as soon as I saw it, I was like, click, this is how we're going to do
It's great.
this.
That's great.
All right. Well, we'll help get the word out. Real quick, though, what work-wise, what's going on with you at this point in time?
Right now I'm doing stuff for the next thing I have coming up is for CBS Sports with the PBA still. And then I kind of like, I'm going to be totally honest, guys. I was going to like kind of take the year off because I make good money on social media and I was just going to like have a year to like see what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And then the bowling stuff came up. My Uncle Pete loves bowling, my mom's brother.
Bowling's great.
Love it.
Yeah, bowling's a lot of fun.
Oh, people love this. And I was like, I don't know, I'm getting it, but I'll do it. Uncle Pete loves it. Uncle Pete's also like, Uncle Pete's in with God pretty good. He's like a man of faith. So anytime we need like a big, like anytime the Flyers tonight, we like, hey, Uncle Pete, can you put a prayer in for us? So I feel like I was like, you know what? I owe Uncle Pete. We're going to do some bowling. But I have a few more of those events coming up. And then some cool offers have come across my desk, but I kind of just want to take a little time. I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off for a while.
I mean, if you can pull in money through the social media and get your brand, keep your brand out there. And by the way, man, Casey just had a bowling event a little while ago. I jumped back into it. It's so much friggin' fun. And
It is.
It
is. And it's the one of the things they sold me on was they were like, you have to watch this documentary that's coming out on HBO. Ben Stiller and A24 did a documentary last season on this league. And they were like, they're just really interesting human stories. So if you just want to do reporting for the sake of like keeping it sharp still, that skill set, then you'll have fun with this. And I've actually had so much fun doing it. But yeah, I've been offered some like sideline jobs and stuff like that are great. I just don't want to jump into anything big right now.
No,
So,
all right. Yeah, enjoy it. Enjoy the break.
So follow me on Instagram because I need money.
Wait till it feels right to you. So definitely. All right. So the event tomorrow starts 4:00. Gear for Good is what it's called, and Taryn is selling all this great merch that she's had throughout the years, and you have tons of stuff. Men and women.
Yeah.
Apparel.
Stuff you won't find anywhere else.
Tomorrow at Scamps, which is on Arch Street. And I would imagine it's going to go pretty quick.
Yeah.
So you want to stop by early. So awesome. Well, listen, it's great to catch up with you. And hopefully we'll be seeing you very soon. And give Connie our love, of course.
I will. I texted her because Marissa told me to make sure I text her before I came on. She didn't answer, so hopefully she didn't miss it.
All right.
Hopefully she didn't miss it.
Yeah,
All right,
hopefully.
guys, thank you so much.
All right, take care. We'll see you. Taryn Hatcher, guys. And a little last second edition there. Love it.
Oh, man, I should sell all my Y100 T-shirts.
Well, you do get swag, honestly. And it's one of the very cool things, and it's never lost on us that you'll get these things that are kind of just for press or whatever. And I mean, you just put up for auction all these things that you got through, the station.
Yeah.
I mean, and
I'm thinking about doing some more.
Yeah, I mean, and why not? If people are going to really enjoy them.
Yep.
If you do more, I have some to team up with you because I have so much stuff from when I was a kid that I just save. We are savers, hoarders.
Yep.
Casey, I'll buy your Y100 shirts.
Oh, yeah.
This is like vintage nostalgic stuff I love so much. I go to every sale like this.
Yeah.
The Phillies gear. I love like a 1980 Phillies shirt. It's cool.
Yeah. I have there was a jersey, a hoodie for the Flyers that I had. It was my favorite hoodie. And I think it got clipped at some event.
Oh, man.
Haven't been able to find it again. If it ever pops up and I see it, I'm gonna buy it immediately because it's my favorite hoodie.
Steve, it was this one. It was from the Winter Classic from Mitchell and Ness that we got years and years ago.
Mine was
Yours
white.
was white.
Yeah.
And if anybody is ever selling or you find in your parents' old WMMR shirts, I am always on the hunt because I love wearing them at the MMRBQ. Last year I didn't, but the year before I wore Pierre's very first MMR shirt, and the year before I wore one that I'd found from a vintage dealer. So anybody who is ever coming across MMR stuff, send it to me, except the Preston and Steve blood drive shirts because that makes me feel really old when they're selling them as vintage, our old blood drive shirts.
Let's face it.
I got all those.
You're a fossil now, Marissa.
Hey, I wanted to pass along this. This is pretty cool. I had Ryan grab the audio for this. But Dan Soder, fantastic comedian, actor, friend of the show.
Yeah.
Was recently, he has a podcast, and he had Eric Andre on the show. And I got this email from, they didn't sign it, but somebody had sent this over. It's from J.K. Fish, whoever that is. But thank you, by the way. But he had Eric Andre on, and their conversation led them to doing interviews on terrestrial radio. And I want to play this little bit for you between these two. I think it starts off with Eric, who we love Eric Andre. Last time we had him on, it was such a great conversation. But this was him talking about doing the interviews with Dan.
The last time I did terrestrial radio, I was like doing a bunch in a row, and I go, I'll be right back. I got to go use the restroom. And I just hung up on the Zoom. My publicist is like blowing me up like, you got like 10 more. I go, there's no point.
There's no point.
There's no point. What? He goes, well, you're going to like burn a bridge. I go, with like KC fucking CW in Cincinnati? I don't care.
Zoom in the butt dog?
I'll grab the kerosene.
Yeah. But there are, what's funny about that is the relationships I still do have with the morning radio that I know, like Preston and Steve and Philly, they're my favorite, is they were always super cool to me when I was headlining like a Wednesday. Yeah. And they'd go, come in, promote your show. And you're like, you guys don't have to do this for me.
Yep. Isn't that
That's
cool?
great.
Yeah.
We love to hear that.
So their conversation was at length about lousy interviews.
Yeah.
And and I only got to watch some of that this morning because it was before the show that I saw it this morning. But they were lamenting about what a pain in the ass it is when somebody doesn't care who you are and really doesn't even want to have you on.
Yeah. That was the battle we fought. Multiple decades on. with the show, you know, thanks to you being successful over this time. That was what we always had to deal with. In fact, one of the holy grails was Patton Oswalt, who just summarily refused to do morning radio, and then came on and we had an awesome interview.
Oh yeah, and afterwards he was like, "I'll come on with you guys anytime."
Well, and most recently we just had David Cross on.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh man, do I want to have this guy on?" Because he like just famously just does not like doing morning radio interviews. And you know, I don't know. I feel like I do. No, I feel like the word's gotten out.
Yeah.
You know? And these guys all talk, you know, amongst each other.
Right.
And
because they're promoting, they're going to promote good avenues to their compatriots about, you know, and we love it. We've worked hard on it. And one of the things we never, you're not required to let us know what your material, just come on and talk. If you're a comedian or just anything, we are genuinely interested in you.
Yeah, and I think that they sometimes deal with people who don't really want to have them on. We will have you on if we really want to have you on.
You know, it's a classic Wayne's World 2, you know. With with the DJ. I'm having a brain fart. You know who he is.
There was, I mean,
Handsome
Harry
Dan is
Shearer,
what they
Handsome
call him.
Dan,
Handsome
but
Dan.
Harry Shearer was
Harry
Handsome
Shearer.
Dan.
Yeah. And he's not paying attention. They're talking, and he's moving the carts around and everything, and they're ripping him on air live, and that's kind of what you get.
And do you remember the guy who would just scream and go, "Ha!" It was Derek.
Pig something. Wasn't that his name?
Well, I mean, it's Ted McGinley. Is it what
Ted
he's going for?
McGinley,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah. So anyhow, I thought that was really cool, Dan,
great.
to say that on his podcast. We appreciate that, Dan. So hopefully we'll get him on sometime in the near future. And Andre as well. We love him too. I have a couple of shout outs that need to get done today. I want to do this now. This is actually from one of our own, Rich, who works in our IT and engineering department. Dinapoli, Rich Dinapoli. He wants a shout out to Cooper Hospital. He said, "My heartfelt gratitude to the incredible team at Cooper Hospital. I'd especially like to acknowledge the ER and ICU nurses, Allie, Lena, Mary, Renee, Nanda, Hope, and Vanessa, as well as the vascular doctors, Alec, Chu, O'Brien, Batista, Luna, and particularly Dr. Hastings." He said, "Your unwavering kindness and expertise in caring for my wife, Deanna, have made such a profound impact during a challenging time. We are truly thankful for the support and care that you provided." So that is from Rich. Rich, we're going to send this shout out. Rich was bringing me up to speed on what's been going on with he and his wife, and they've had a really, really bumpy road as of late.
Are things turning for the better? I hope
They're
so,
turning for the better.
Good,
There's recovery coming up, but they were in the ICU for a stretch.
Wow. Yeah, and then when those people, those nurses and those medical people, doctors or whatever, that are your conduit to, you know, having someone you love or you yourself getting through it all, it means the world to you.
And Rich, I put up there in my category of nicest guys in the world. As far as just incredibly sweet individuals. So, Rich, we hope things are getting better. A couple others, and these have to do with people going through some medical issues. This says, "Hello, Presbo and MMR family. It's your favorite jerkmate, Jamie." So this is jerkmate Jamie. Jamie who comes out to our blood drive and always says, "Yo, ever heard of jerkmate?"
I was like, is that Julie Jerkoff?
No.
Yo, ever heard of Jerkmate?
This is jerkmate Jamie. She sounds just like that.
She does a great job.
She said, "I'm writing for two reasons. First, to apologize, and secondly, to ask for a shout out." She said, "For my apology, unfortunately, I will not be able to make it to the blood drive this year. And I can't tell you how sad this makes me. I'll be having major surgery this June to help me with my condition, endometriosis. Sadly, I cannot donate blood within 3 months of surgery, and this procedure is a chance to get even even minimal relief. In case you guys are a little unfamiliar with this condition, I can provide a very brief bit of info. However, I do know that you've spoken about it briefly on the show in bits. Thank you for your support, by the way. It's misplaced tissue, which acts similarly to the uterine lining. It thickens and breaks down every month, leading to internal bleeding, inflammation, and scar tissue formation. It causes countless complications, not to mention daily pain, which can be severe, chronic fatigue, and so much more. I'm approaching my second procedure for the disease, and to say it's been trying is an understatement." And then she says, "For the shout out, I wish this to go to all of you. While we have only met briefly on a few occasions, you guys have no idea how much you have positively impacted my life. During all the nights where I couldn't sleep due to the pain, the mornings where I could barely function from chronic fatigue, and in so many moments of despair and doubt, the show and the MMR family have carried me through. The morning show has given me countless laughs, lifted my spirits in some of my darkest hours. This is a kindness I am so grateful for and cannot ever sufficiently repay. So please, shout out for all of you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Love always. And she writes in quotes, yo, ever heard of Jerkmate Jamie? So that's actually for you, Jamie. Because you've been such a big supporter, and she's a teacher and just a cool person.
I'm familiar with that condition, and it just crushes your soul.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yo, ever heard of Jerkmate?
So hang in there, Jamie. We will miss you at the blood drive, but we will see you soon, I'm sure.
Maybe the Jerkmate can come in her stead.
And yet another one. It says, hey, Preston, WMMR family. My name is Robert Haldeman. I've been on your Take Steps team for many years. This is for Crohn's, I am and IBD, colitis, all of that stuff. I said, you meet my family. We are the family that adopted 5 foster kids, and I want to give my love to everyone battling IBD, Crohn's, and colitis. And I'm going to miss this year as my battle with UC has been bad the past 6 years. Meds not controlling. And I made the decision to have my colon and rectum cut out and a J pouch created. I have to wear a colostomy bag for a few months while everything heals. This is a major decision I feel is needed right now. Oh my God. So I can have a decent quality of life. My surgery is April 30th. So he said I'll be doing a clean out prep tomorrow. So that's today, by the way. So if we could get a shout out to everybody battling IBD and a shout out for my surgery to be successful and recovery isn't so bad. With love, Robert Haldeman. So you guys ready?
We're going to go.
Here we go.
Yeah!
There you go. We had to blow that one out for you. And by the way, the Take Steps Walk is coming up May 16th this year. And you could do Take Steps Philly, do a search on that. I'll be hosting it again. I've been hosting it for over a decade. And hopefully you can come out and help raise some funds for people like Robert who can, hopefully find a cure someday. And then I got another one here that says, hey, Preston, Philly police detective here, longtime listener and fan. And I was hoping you could send a shout out to Chris and four-legged friend Brutus, who are both longtime listeners. After a long and depressing era on the apps, it has been so much fun dating someone else whose exclusive news source is the Preston and Steve Show. Thanks for always giving us something to talk about in addition to my wild and sometimes silly cases. Our 4-hour-long phone conversation is something my friends will roast me about forever. But that's only because they don't understand the nuance of dissecting junk drawers and bizarre files as a team.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Wishing Chris and Brutus an awesome day with lots of sunshine and a couple of good walks. Thank you so much. That's from Rachel Comazeno. So here's a shout out. And thank you for reaching out, Rachel. We do appreciate that. I have a number of these. May I continue?
Yeah, by all means.
Says this one says, hey, I've been going to NovaCare. This is from Heather. Says I've been going to NovaCare Rehab in Oxford, PA since 2023, and I just found out that both Chrissy and Joe are big fans of WMMR and the Preston and Steve Show. The folks at the Oxford NovaCare are amazing. They've helped me through foot, knee, and back issues, spinal stenosis. They simply kick ass and are super knowledgeable and make sure that their patients are treated with respect and dignity. They're an asset to the community here in Oxford. So here's a shout out. I have more.
Listen, these are people who are being acknowledged in helping other people.
And I got a couple of plugs, too, and then we'll move along. This one says, hey, Preston Steve, my daughter, Brianna Donnelly, is in her second year as a new gym owner in Drexel Hill. The gym is called Blindside Strength. Brianna met you both and was on your show years ago. Back then, she attended St. Lucy's Day School for the Blind and Visually Impaired. And I'm so proud of her. I would love to give her a Blindside Strength big shout out. Thank you for entertaining our whole family for many years. Sincerely, Sue Donnelly. So here's a shout out.
So is it a gym that caters to the visually impaired?
They don't indicate that here, but I'm guessing maybe that's got to be a part of it.
I just saw a guy who was competing in like a Mr. Olympia who was blind.
Wow.
Okay. But he's he's had to rely kind of on people telling him the aesthetic, but he of course is in incredible shape.
Are you sure he's blind or was he gay?
Yeah, and that's the mountain climber. By the way, I saw that video yesterday of that reporter, and her face. She's reporting on a story. If you're not familiar with it, and here's a story of a man who climbed Mount Everest. But here's the interesting part: he's gay. I mean blind.
I mean blind. Blind.
I mean, how old is that clip? And it still makes us laugh.
I know.
Because
I mean, hey,
where did you get gay?
Yeah. So she probably looked just like, he looks gay to me. I don't know. But anyhow.
It must be hard climbing a mountain if you're gay.
Blindside Strength Gym is in Drexel Hill if you're interested.
Blind is probably hard too.
All right. And then I have a couple of plugs for you here. This is from Emily H., who reached out to me. And coming up Wednesday, May 6th, Havertown is hosting Anne's Race Against Pancreatic Cancer, a community walk-run created in memory, she says, of my mom, Anne Camerato, who spent her career in science and medicine before losing her battle with pancreatic cancer. The event is organized by Haverford Township Parks and Recreation. Takes place on the trails at the Haverford Reserve.
Okay.
Kicking off at the SREC. It's all ages, all places, low pressure, high purpose, whether you're sprinting, strolling, or just there to talk the whole way through like a true local, and every dollar raised supports for PanCan, funding pancreatic cancer research and patient advocacy. So if anybody's looking for an exclusive excuse to get outside, this is it. So that is coming up Wednesday, May 6th. I believe we were sent some links. Did I get that to you, Marissa? I always forget to follow up.
So this is next Wednesday.
In fact, it was sent to you, Marissa, looking at this. Yeah, it's coming up on Wednesday the 6th. If we don't have it up on PrestonandSteve.com, we will get it up there soon so you can check back on there. And then one last plug. This is from Christina P., who was telling me about Sunday. It says it is the Sunday, May 3rd. We're hosting Cinco de Meow.
Okay.
One of our largest events and the biggest fundraising event of the year. It's our 6th year of hosting this amazing event benefiting Forgotten Cats, a local animal rescue group that's near and dear to not only my crazy cat lady heart, but a lot of our teams and guests. Forgotten Cats serves the community by offering affordable TNVR services, low-cost spay-neuter services for pet and stray cats, and spay-neuter education. Since 2003, Forgotten Cats has placed over 20,000 cats into their forever home. So it's Sunday, May 3rd, and it's going to be at 2SP Brewing in Aston.
Great place.
Noon till 6 it'll be taking place. Live music, food trucks, merch, tons of raffles, 20% off all total sales from the day are going to be donated to Forgotten Cats. So that event coming up, mark your calendar. That is 5-3 Cinco de Meow.
I love it.
That's a great name.
Love it.
Yeah. All right.
I thought it'd be kind of a fun thing, like at a cat charity. We, or Lord knows, we host a lot of them.
Yeah.
What would you donate to have the thrill of actually taking a dump in a large cat box? Right?
Yeah.
Think about it. Like
that'd be fun.
To scale. That'd be pretty cool.
By the way, I think I
raise a lot of money.
I think I pronounced that wrong. It's Cinco de Meow.
Oh. Okay.
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah,
meow. Instead of Cinco de Meow.
It made me laugh.
Meow.
Settle down, meow.
Meow, meow, meow. Do we have that?
Traffic controller.
I love it. I still get a kick out of that one. Was these pilots that were talking to each other. If you missed it, they were, rather than speaking human, they were speaking in cat tongue, if you will.
Catanese.
Casey's searching for it. Catanese.
You guys need to be professional pilots.
Meow, 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 meow.
This is why you're still flying RJ. It was funny the first 5 minutes.
By the way, somebody texted and said, everybody sign up for that fundraiser, write meow. Yeah. All right.
And you know what? I forgot to, because you weren't here yesterday, Steve. I didn't get to tell you guys or give a shout out to anybody over there at Cardinal O'Hara High School, because I did the.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
That's all right. I did the career day. I was the keynote speaker. It's career week there right now.
Oh, my God.
And so I was a keynote speaker at my alma mater, Cardinal O'Hara. And so I I was tasked with a 30-minute speech.
We talked about it the day before about your anxiety.
Well, I was worried for a couple of different reasons. A, not imparting a good message. B, not being able to fill the time. I filled too much time, as a matter of fact.
I told you.
Yeah. And so, but listen, I think I was received well there. I think I got my message across. I was, happy with how everything went. I think I had the audience for the first, 60%, and then after a while they were like, hey man,
shut up.
The sooner you wrap up, the sooner we can go home. I didn't realize it was the last period of the day.
Okay, yeah.
So I did get the wrap up, and then afterwards I was encouraged because a lot of high school kids came up and said that they listened to the show, or they listened with their parents and all that. So I want to give a shout out to a band named Sludge. I wish I could remember the kid's name, but
it's for the band Sludge.
Yes. So they do some originals, but they play a lot of MMR music, and he came up, and that's pretty cool.
Well, Casey's holding something.
Yeah, that's their band sticker.
It's a sticker.
Sludge.
And it shows a 50-gallon drum laying on its side, and it's leaking some kind of sludge. I don't know, some kind of sludge, and it says sludge on it. And they have a little picture of an alien and a triangle on that 50-gallon drum. So
Well, sometimes
sludge.
the aliens, they drink the sludge.
I like that name.
And the best part is I actually got in trouble while I was there, which was awesome. I was like, yes, it's good to be back. You know what I mean?
What'd you do?
Well, just a few minutes before I was supposed to go on, I had to go to the bathroom. And I was like, okay, let me go use the bathroom right next to the auditorium in the gym, and that bathroom was locked. So I ended up walking down the hall and found a bathroom, right around where the religion wing was.
Right.
And on the walk back, I was the only one in the hallway, and there was a guy there, and apparently he was the head of
security,
school safety and everything.
Right.
And I had a badge, but I just had it in my pocket, and he was like, you got to put that badge on. I was like, okay, sir.
Did you check and see if that secret door still existed?
I did not. I didn't. No, because I didn't have a whole lot of time beforehand. And then when everything was over, band was just getting ready to start. And
were they cheering your name by the end of it?
Yeah.
Casey.
So wait a minute, Sludge performed?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
You said a band.
The orchestra.
Oh,
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the orchestra playing the music of Sludge.
Yeah.
It's a tribute to Sludge.
Yeah. Philly Pop plays Sludge.
Philly Pop plays Sludge.
Sludge is going to love the fact that we have said their name 50 times now.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
But so everything went well, and that is just it's a load off my mind right
All right. Very
Good for you, man. I told you.
Yep.
All right. Well, listen, we have our run of guests coming up when we return, so we should go ahead and break. And I'll run down the list of guests here in just a moment. But a reminder: we are giving away Flyers tickets today, and in the not too distant future, we'll do it. So what you need to do is text the word Flyers to 610-660-9333. And we're going to send you a word. We'll bounce it right back to you. Hang on to that word, because shortly we're going to ask you to be a designated caller and give us that word. And if you do so, you're going to go to the game tonight. How about that? You could see them wrap this whole thing up, hopefully. That's going to take place tonight. So text the word Flyers, 610-660-9333. Come back in a moment. Ricky Bo's going to be joining us. We're going to talk about Phil's. Gene Simmons will be on the program, and also comedian Brad Williams will be checking in. So we'll be back with all of it when we return. Stay put.
KROQ and these or PIX even in New York, these stations, they were the only outlet for a lot of these bands. So there was, they had to schmooze or drop by. They had to do anything to get into the good graces of these stations, and that provided accessibility.
Hey, so when DRE went away, was Y100 already lined up, or?
So DRE sold, and I remember I met with the owner and I said, and this is the time when, after the consolidation, Telecommunications Act of 96, all these radio stations were being bought and sold and gobbled up by corporate entities. And I met with the owner and I said, I don't know if we can get the ratings to get the money in that you want to make. This signal actually doesn't cover the suburbs very well. It covers like the city and the close Jersey area and stuff like that. And I think a light bulb went off, and a month later he sold it to Radio 1, which flipped the station to an urban station. So where the signal is much more competitive. So it made sense, and he made a ton of money. He quadrupled his money in 4 years of owning DRE down here. So, but we were competing against Y100, and I would say we were kicking them in their shins pretty hard.
Yeah.
And they had just lost their program director, Garrett Michaels. And so they called me and said, would you come over when DRE goes away? And I said, yeah, but I got to bring some of my people. And we brought a lot of people, including Brett, including Preston, you know, and a bunch of folks made that jump with us to Y100. And that's how that started, actually.
Yeah, Marilyn was on board for that too.
Yeah.
And Dan
And then
Fine.
I think it was it? Yeah. And, you know, and these are people, there's such a weird, like, when you've been through like a weird battle kind of camaraderie, that we're all still friends today, you know, 30 years later. We all still, whenever we can, we hang out. Whenever we can, we try to get together and reminisce, but also like share that we had this really great thing that we built.
And it was just a blip, or at least DRE was a blip in our careers. And you and me and Brett and a few others get on a text chain and reminisce about it from time to time. I also have to point out how cordial Jim was, because when I first moved here, I lived with Jim and his wife.
Oh boy.
For a couple of weeks, maybe even like a month, I don't know, but we lived in that apartment in the Corman Suites. You remember that?
Oh my God. Yes, vaguely.
Which is terrible because I was a smoker and they weren't.
Oh man.
And it was the dead of winter, and I'd go out in the hallway and smoke.
Oh my God.
That sting on like winter smoke.
And the rest is history, and it is a 30-year-old history, which is I love this. I love this ability to be able to do this because, as we said earlier, Jim, you know, if anything has taught us in the past couple of months, that the ephemeral nature, obviously, of life reminds us.
Yeah.
And so it does not hurt to take these pauses now and then if you're in a good place and you've had a bit of a run and you're still surrounded by people who are, you know, critical and contributed to your quality of life. Both of us.
Yeah.
But Preston hitting the 30-year mark is definitely worth taking a look back.
Yeah, and Jim, I want to jump in here and point out the fact that your decision to move to Philadelphia and then ultimately call Preston to move to Philadelphia has resulted in millions and millions and millions of pounds of food for Phil Abundance.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars for Phil Abundance. Preston's entire family. Jim, my entire family, like none of any of that stuff
would have
happened
Jim
if it
and Gwen.
wasn't for you. This butterfly effect.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, the work you guys have done, and we started that at Y100, the camp out, and it's just the way it's grown and how it's become like such an important part of the fabric of the city. It's just something you guys should all be proud of. And, you know, I this is like when we were talking about the morning show and Preston moving from afternoons to mornings. So we were at Y100, but I will never forget, Preston, I was sitting in my desk in my office. You were in the doorway and we were talking and you said, I would really like to try morning. So I was like, are you going to really get up in the morning? Are you, you know, knew you at that point, the way you were. And you said to me, I want to have an impact on a city the way a guy like Pierre at MMR has had an impact on a city. And this is years before you would work at MMR. This is before you'd even started the mornings. And that was sort of the gold standard that we would look at as far as somebody who had come into a town and really become part of the fabric of that town. And, you know, you've done it.
Well,
I mean, maybe not the first 29 years, but now you've done it.
I listened to the Pierre's presence in this town just loomed so large. And, you know, I would never compare myself to his level, but I do remember being, I want to be the outsider that came in and found a home and found an audience.
As Pierre did.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming from San Francisco.
Again, very similar.
Showing you the miraculous mix of people that is this great city, the people, surrounding areas, all of it is meant. I mean, coming down from New York for me, this is my home. I'm you know, and as you say, give another 30 years, which I'm sure I'll make.
You'll be accepted. They'll let you park in South Philly on Broad Street. And I also remember, Steve, this one meeting I had as we were forming the show together, and we had a kind of a outside help, like a consultant was coming in to help us, and I was I don't know if I ever told you guys this. I was commiserating him. I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work because Preston's not really the kind of guy that reads a newspaper. Like, he's a great guy. He's a great guy at the end of the bar you want to hang out with.
Yeah.
Steve's got the news. He's got the news. Preston, I'm not so sure. And the guy said to me, he goes, that's okay. You don't have to change him. He doesn't have to read the newspaper. He can be the guy that doesn't read the newspaper. And then Steve could tell him what's going on. And that was...
You know what?
That was it.
You know what is so funny? I still use something similar to that, Jim, as a justification today. Like, if there's something I'm not into that the rest of the world is like way into, I'll be like, well, I'll just be the guy that represents the rest of the people that don't get into it.
Right. And that was for me a lesson on how to build a morning show. It's like, oh, right, you can't have 5 people that are all like the same. You got to have a whole bunch of weirdos that come together.
No.
And together, if they're curious about the world, it's going to work.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Well, you've had an uncanny sixth sense about that, and your ability to be good natured and have a paternal-esque care for the people that were under your control, so to speak. It's meant the world. I mean, it allowed you allowed us to grow in the way that mattered. You were always in there swinging for us. When you made a call that didn't work, you would tell us and say, what can we do? And I mean, I don't possess that skill. To do what you do at the level you do it and have done it, I'd be an abysmal failure because it's something that I think is in your DNA, and it's an amazing thing.
I want to piggyback on that because Jim, and I've worked for several program directors, but Jim, you have a way of encouraging and inspiring people that I've never quite experienced with anybody else. And that's one of the coolest things about you. And I know we didn't always see eye to eye on stuff. Jim and I we'd butt heads from time to time. Jim would always tell me, by the way, he could tell when I was mad at him because I would use his name. I'd be like, no, Jim, I don't think so. And he's like, I know when you're mad at me.
The thing that, I mean, look, we were, I was, 28 or something when I came to DRE. Like, I can't believe they gave me the keys to the radio station at that age.
Yeah.
Like now it seems like, wait, I was a baby. We were all babies at that time and learning how to work together. And the other thing I learned from you guys were really hardworking and you had this like office bullpen and you would meet every day and powwow with the show. And this was the first real morning show that I'd also been a part of helping, foster. And I quickly learned that any idea of mine, if you guys weren't into it right away, I had to just give it up. And because I would try to be like, no, you should really do this. And you'd be like, and then you'd do it and it would be terrible. And I was like, all right, lesson learned. They will do what they want to do no matter what I tell them. So
but it takes,
I got to reshape this. Yeah.
It takes a certain person to do that who doesn't in a huff go, God damn it, I'm going to ram it down your throat. You wanted the best product, you wanted the best for the listeners, you wanted, and that's why it worked. So
I also like the attitude that we had. Jim, I want to ask, whose idea was it to take out that full page ad in the city paper?
Well, there were
I remember
different controversial ones. The one with the F-bomb in it, or the one about MMR. So,
no, the F-bomb one in particular.
Oh yeah. I think that was me. Same thing. Y100 didn't have a big budget, and I think we tweaked the format to include more like active rock. Like we were playing Metallica and heavier bands that we hadn't played earlier.
Yeah.
And so what the ad was like, we effing rock or something.
No, it was F-U, we rock.
Oh, yeah.
Only F was not abbreviated. It was fully spelled out.
Yeah.
I know what it was. We were just getting brushed aside publicly for whatever reason. There was an air of that they're just those guys over there doing this thing, and we were like, dude, we're rocking over here, okay?
Yeah.
And it was F-U, we rock, and we got some crap for that.
It's a city paper, though.
And God bless Lynn Bruder, our general manager, who had to walk that into the owner, Dan Lerner, who was not pleased with that ad and walk that thing through. But he was great. I mean, he's the guy that gave us like 6 Volkswagen Beetles to give away and all this stuff. But I do remember an ad we had. I'm going to share this, and it's going to be hopefully funny, at DRE, where MMR had changed their slogan to say, "We've grown up, you've grown up."
That's right.
That was the slogan they were using. And we were at DRE and we were the young punks. And we were like, that's so stupid. That's a terrible slogan. And the next week we ran in the city pages or city paper an ad that had it was all gray city background with a pink toilet in the middle. And it said, "You've thrown up, we've thrown up."
I love that one.
And then look at you now.
Yeah, here at MMR.
There you are. But not using that slogan anymore, which is
No,
good.
he's rocking him behind him. If you're watching on YouTube, or his fiber pills on the.
Yeah, I got him back there. I'm gonna be 58 in a couple of weeks, so
It's all good.
Got to keep things moving.
To be able to be here saying that and looking back at a milestone moment is a gift from God. So, yeah.
Well, Jim, thank you for giving me a shot, brother. You changed my life. It was 30 years ago that I rolled into town with my stuff, and you know, have been here ever since, and can't thank you enough. So I really appreciate it, man. I will always love you for that.
Thanks to you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jim,
and by the way, Jim, program director. Are you a program director? What's your title at XPN?
I am the acting program director at WXPN. So we've had a longtime program director, Bruce Warren, who's amazing. He's entering what's called phased retirement. He's just a few years older than us. And so I'm the acting program director right now.
All right.
At XPN.
Well, make sure you act properly, sir.
Some would say I've always been acting.
Yeah,
exactly. So there you go.
All right, Jim. Thanks for checking in, bud. I'll see you soon, okay?
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right, take care. Jim McGuinn, guy that created this.
I feel good to do that on a milestone day, right?
Yeah.
To touch base with Jim?
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah. Jim was a guy that I just admired big time before I ever really got to know him. You know, I watched him work across the street, as they say in the business, and I was like, God, I want to work for that guy. I want to work for that guy. I want to work for that guy. And eventually came together.
I had a special moment. Thank you guys for doing that Y100 reunion a few years ago at Camp Out for Hunger. As a fan, somebody who grew up loving Philadelphia radio, like that was extra special for me. And I was just standing next to Jim as he was just looking out in the crowd, and he was just wowed at what the Preston and Steve show has become. And he was a part of that history, but where you guys have taken it from, you know, the start is just wonderful.
Well, you know, Marissa, we talk about when, with Pierre passing and people saying, "Oh, sorry for you."
By the way, if you want to win tickets to the game tonight, Flyers, text the word Flyers to 610-660-9333. We're going to send a certain word to you in a little bit. We're going to ask you to be a designated caller and give us that word. So hang tight. We want you to go to that game tonight, but text the word Flyers to 610-660-9333. Elsewhere in the world of Philly sports, manager Rob Thompson was let go yesterday.
It was kind of wild.
Big deal. So we got to get somebody who can speak from experience this morning here in our studio. And you know him from our sister station, 97.5 The Fanatic. Ricky Bo! What's up? Ricky Metallica.
You guys are all lively this morning.
Man. Oh, that's our way.
Fired up. Gotta love it.
Well, we have a lot of Coke that we're giving.
Game helps. So, yeah, man, we thought of you, obviously, about this, and you guys are going to be talking about it today. I'm sure you had lots of conversation. Well, what time did the news come down?
About 11 o'clock.
Okay.
But apparently this thing was done on Saturday.
Yeah.
I guess Dave Dombrowski went and talked to Cora from the Red Sox, formerly of the Red Sox, on Saturday.
Yeah.
So they knew they were going to do it. They knew it was happening. I guess the whole thing didn't kind of come crashing down until Monday at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
It's interesting seeing it because the people who are even, who are like, I'm not so cool with this, they're not like foaming at the mouth. They're like, they kind of see it, but there are definitely two different camps on this. What's your take?
The whole key to this was it wasn't Rob Thompson's fault.
Yeah.
Rob Thompson is a great baseball mind.
Right.
It has nothing really to do with him. I think it has more to do with how do we cut off the head of the snake so these players finally realize that they're not playing good baseball.
Right.
And this was a show of force?
Yeah. But it's something that almost had to be done. You lose 11 out of 12.
Yep.
You lose 10 in a row in Major League Baseball. I was on some bad teams.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. We had some bad teams. I can't remember coming close to that.
I mean, it's crazy to see that happen. You had the Mets going to a similar
12 in a row.
Yeah. So when you see it, you know, and then the fan base, the clarion call, you can feel it. It just permeates everything. And so from your position, when you were playing, something like this happens, and you're like, because last night they won. They shutout 7-0. So, you know, is that a cause and effect, or how does this work out this way in your mind as a player?
The Phillies are not stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, you look at their next 5 series, all these teams are under 500.
Right.
So that if they make a move now coming off the road and then we play well, everybody's going to buy into it.
I see.
So they're not
interesting.
They're not stupid.
Yeah.
The strange thing is, I believe when they fired Girardi, was a Monday at around 11 a.m.
Right.
So it was the exact same thing after an off day both times, which I think is a little strange that you give the guy the off day and then do it to him. But I look at it this way. It's something that had to be done because you had to wake up the players. There's 26 players that play on a roster. Those are the guys that got to check their ego when they come in yesterday.
Yeah.
You have to look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm part of the problem. Kyle Schwarber came out and said, we're the problem. It wasn't Rob. And that's the way it should be.
I was wondering that because, listen, I don't know squat about sports. I know very little other than I watch the games and I enjoy what I enjoy. But baseball did always seem to me as a sport where, coaching obviously is very important, but I didn't see it as the end-all, be-all because, they're not sending out plays like in football. They're not making those important. What is our very specific strategy about what we're going to do on this particular play? I mean, obviously, there are scenarios, but for the most part, it's the guys in the field that are making that thing happen.
Yeah.
So when a manager has to get let go for kind of ceremonial reasons, I've always felt that's kind of a crappy thing,
It is a crappy thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think it's fair, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not a fair move. It's not Rob Thompson's fault. As a matter of fact, this guy's had 96 and 95 wins the last 2 seasons.
Right.
But apparently that was the players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
He's in a thankless situation.
But all right, so the pitching was underwhelming. That was one thing.
Everything is.
Especially the relief pitching. But, the hitting was very reminiscent of their last couple of postseasons, right? So, and I got to tell you, I was tuned out. I hadn't watched many of the games. It was just painful to watch. So I couldn't even tell you if Mattingly did anything different with the lineup yesterday. Did he change the lineup?
Nothing.
He kept everything the same.
Absolutely 100% the same. The one thing I did
There you
notice,
go, yeah.
the one thing I did notice, I saw clips of before the game, they were actually out there for batting practice.
Okay.
They were actually out there. He was with Bryce Harper at first base taking ground balls.
Okay.
I mean, this team fundamentally sucks on the field this year.
Well, as you were saying earlier, and everyone says this because they do something like this, and then the scrutiny goes right on the roster, and they're looking at some heavy paychecks, and they're saying, why aren't you delivering for us? It's funny because you deliver at a certain level, and everyone's, hey, you're trying, but something like this streak just gets people out of their skulls angry in light of the high-priced talent that's on the team.
Well, when you look at it, think about this for a second. You look at the Phillies, you're looking at these guys making $30 million a year.
Right.
And that it doesn't come across when they win. When you start to lose, they start to think, this guy's making $30 million a year and they're losing these games. And then they get to 5 in a row and you're like, 5 in a row? And they're making this much. Gets to 10 in a row, and people are like, I'm sick of this team.
Yeah.
And you know what? It goes to show a lot of people, we had a poll yesterday, is firing Rob Thompson the right thing? It was about 70% would say yes, or 60% said yes. There was about 40%, but of those 40%, I bet you most of them were like, you should have gotten rid of the general or Dave Dombrowski.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, well, he's the one that made the team.
Together.
He put this team together, and I just think it's kind of weird. You asked me, were there any changes last night? None.
So let me ask you this, and it's I was reading the articles and watching all the coverage, and Thompson apparently says he would love to stay with the organization in some capacity or not. There's no, at least what he's projecting, no ill feelings. Do you see him staying with the Phils in some capacity?
He will. Probably next year. I don't, in all honesty, I'd go home.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm the manager, I don't really want to be around the stadium right now.
Is it more of a distraction for?
I think it could be a distraction to the players a little bit, but I think you bring him back spring training next year and have him as a special assistant somewhere. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's pretty common. We were talking about that last night because, I mean, Charlie Manuel's there, Boa's there, and everybody is left on different accords, but it's pretty common for someone to stick around, right?
Boa still throws batting practice. I mean, what is he thinking? I mean, in all honesty, this, he's no spring chicken anymore. He's out there throwing batting practice, but good for him. Larry Bowa's been part of the game since who knows when. Yeah. And, Charlie's obviously won a World Series for the team, so he's always going to be beloved around here.
Oh,
I think Rob's one of those guys, though. I think he's just a team type guy, and I think that's the type of people that the Phillies want in there.
Where are the obvious holes in the team's performance right now?
The starting pitching, believe it or not. And I know you could say the hitting, and if you want to start there, I'm comfortable 1 through 3, and then I'm comfortable with Brandon Marsh has been swinging the bat really well, and Justin Crawford's going to be fine.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, you want to talk about a big hole? Alec Bohm.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's 6'4" and doesn't hit the ball out of the ballpark. That's been his problem throughout the time here. He's had some good years here, but he's got a lot of baggage going on right now. He's got that lawsuit with his parents going on.
Oh, yeah.
That's such a weird thing, man. Just talk about distraction. How when you're playing, you have something to go awry in your personal life. Were you able to ring the curtain down and just completely separate it from what you were doing on the field? It seems to me it would be almost impossible.
It would be impossible.
Yeah.
It is impossible. I mean, obviously everybody's got stuff going on outside of the game, but some things kind of overwhelm you. Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
That life hands you. Let me ask you a quick question about Mattingly, because I was reading he has no desire to be a permanent addition in this way. Do you believe that's the case?
He changed his mind yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
He said, when he first got here, he said he's not after the managerial position. He has no desire to manage. Well, that's obviously false.
Right.
He also said that when he was asked that question, he was not going to say, I'm here because I want to manage again.
Right.
Because he didn't want to make things uncomfortable for anybody.
Right.
So it was kind of like, I'm going to play the team game.
Right.
Until it's time not to.
Hey, all right, so obviously the Phillies had their slide, their skid, and then it was almost like, hey, look over there, because the Mets are worse than us right now.
Yeah.
Did the Mets make any changes, or did they stick with it? Okay.
They stuck with it, but they were without Soto, too. So at least they had a built-in excuse.
A reason.
Right.
Yeah.
But now they're without Lindor. So now they got another one.
I saw that Mets tickets are selling for $6 when they play the Nationals. They said a
crazy.
Crunch Wrap Supreme is more expensive than a single Mets ticket right now.
Great
good,
stat.
though. Yeah,
they are good.
Yeah.
By the way, I forgot we have a musical representation of the Phillies season so
do
far.
we?
Yeah. There you go. That's our season right there so far. But I mean, it's at a point in the season where they can turn things around. Hopefully, right? I mean,
yes.
I mean, a ton of games.
What,
30 games? How many games they play?
Yeah.
They're barely a month into the season. So, I mean, you have most people haven't even settled in to watch the Phillies yet because of the Flyers and Sixers going on.
True.
Yeah.
So it's one. I guess if you were going to have a skid, might as well have happened now.
Right.
Yeah.
Because everybody was preoccupied with other things. And now all of a sudden, I love how people say, well, they won 2 out of 3 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just focus on the positive. And I've heard time and time again that you can't win, the World Series. You make the playoffs in April, but you can certainly miss it because of April.
10.5 games back.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking 1 month of the season, you're 10.5 games out of first place. That's a hole. It's a big hole to kind of get out of. But I mean, you have plenty of time to chip away. You don't have to grab it all in like a 3-week period.
Slow and
Well,
steady.
the Flyers had a pretty rough, season, and they're turning it around so you can get hot.
I love how Rick Tocchet keeps saying 3%. We had a 3% chance to get in, and they end up getting into playoffs, and they've been playing pretty well. I mean, I think tonight's game's crucial for them.
Yeah.
Game 6 in Philly. I got to tell you, this crowd had better be ready for this
Were
one.
you always a hockey guy? And obviously you're a baseball guy, but you come from, you're from New England, and I figured that's kind of a hotbed up there.
Well, when I was a little kid, it was the Hartford Whalers. That was the only professional team in Connecticut. So I was really drawn to it. I mean, I love to skate. I love to play. I mean, even like what I did as a little kid is we'd go seasons.
Yeah.
So we'd be out playing home run derby in the summer.
Yeah.
It would come to the late fall and winter. You'd go from basketball outside to playing street hockey outside.
You do the shift,
So,
yeah. Wow.
What game? So home run derby. We used to play a game, and for lack of a better term, it was called Indian. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Do you remember that baseball game where it was just you could just play it with like 2 people, where you would toss yourself the ball and bat it, and if it was I don't remember the rules. If you got a grounder, if you clearly picked it up, you're out.
Yeah.
Or if you caught a ball, it was an out. Or I forgot but we used to play games like that.
We used to
you
make
only
up
need
games.
2 or 3 people.
I mean, we had about 2 or 3 neighborhoods, and back then you could drive a mile away on your bikes and go play at the park. And instead, we would just see how many guys we can get down the ballpark, or we would go to a softball field and play from second base.
Yeah.
Because we were little. I mean, we wanted to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Yeah, those hybrid games. Running bases was always one of my favorite games.
Yeah, we played pickle or hot
pickle.
box. It was called.
Yeah, nobody knows what that is anymore.
What was pickle?
So
See?
2 bases, 2 bases, two base, tending the bases. You had 2 guys with gloves, and you had a runner in between.
Usually use a tennis ball though.
Yeah, exactly. And
Casey Clark.
essentially, it was when there's a pickle. What's another term?
You're in a pickle.
That's it. It's pickle.
Yeah, you're in a pickle.
When you got a runner that's caught.
It's a
between 2
rundown.
bases.
God, it's a
rundown.
But,
That's what we called running bases.
That was our game. It was our game of tag.
Yeah.
With basically like playing baseball, it was our game of tag.
Almost kind of like monkey in the middle, but you want to get out of it instead of getting the ball.
Yeah, it was basically trying to get out of a pickle.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, since you are a hockey fan, I'm going to let you do this.
Yeah.
We have Flyers tickets to
Yeah, we
tonight.
do.
You give me a number caller who has to have that secret, not a crazy high number.
1 through what?
1 through 25.
1 through 25. Let's go 13.
All right, call 13.
All right.
610-660-9333. If you know the secret text word, per Ricky Bo, you're going to get to go to the game tonight.
I want to throw out a request. As somebody who watches these games on TV, if you are lucky enough to be in the arena tonight, stay on your feet and cheer on this team, because there's nothing worse than you see the energy going, and then as soon as the puck drops, everybody sits and it looks like it gets real quiet.
Mariss,
like
you
the
are-
energy
you are-
in the stadium, I know, but it is
You're
just
bleeding
obvious.
to
She's got
20,000
this-
people.
It's not going to
Needs
happen.
it.
It's not going to happen.
Pittsburgh was fired up
They
in game
were
5.
I
fired
know.
up, and the fans were on their
Marissa wants
seat.
everyone standing the entire game.
Saying the entire
That's
game, but
not
at least
gonna happen.
at least a little bit through the beginning of the first period, because I saw it at the Phillies game. As soon as the first pitch happens, everybody sits down.
You want to
gets real
drive? You want to
quiet.
drive teams nuts? Give them all a kazoo when they come in.
Homer Simpson was less obsessed with the Blue Man Group than Marissa is with.
We had there was a Sixers pep rally here last week out in the parking lot, and I came out late for it, and I was getting ready to leave, and somebody had one of those vuvuzelas.
yeah.
Were they handing those out like that horn?
That you know what's funny? When we played in Montreal, Olympic Stadium, they didn't get a lot of people there, so they made their noises in strange ways. One guy would come in with that and just blow it the whole game.
Oh, God. I remember.
Annoying as all hell.
I sat next to the Packers fans for an away game in Philly. It was a Monday night game. They all brought whistles. They all got escorted out because you would have thought Packers fans were going to.
Yeah, but
kill
I
these
don't believe
people.
you're not supposed to be able to bring a whistle into a game that they actually use.
They're using
whistles. on the
whistles.
field.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
All right, listen, we got our caller on the line, and they have to do something. They got to give us our special secret text word, and it's Rob we're going to go to. Hey, Rob, you there, bud?
I am.
You are caller number 13, Rob. Are you excited at least about that?
Absolutely.
You don't sound it, Rob. Let's get fired up.
Yeah. What's
I'm
the
at work. I'm sorry.
What's the secret text word, Rob?
Gritty.
Yeah.
Get ready with it.
Come on, Rob. Let out one scream. Unless you're a surgeon.
Rob, we are going to give you tickets to go to the game tonight, brother. All right?
Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
You got it. He's at work.
He's at work. Yeah.
So
He's a librarian.
Hang on just a second, and we will set you up. And it's just that simple. So thank
Should have
you.
made him start yelling, "Let's go Flyers."
Ricky, there was something you did to go on a completely different subject. Not that long ago, you and Casey were making a video, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And it was you showing him how to throw pitches.
We were not making a video.
No, I
You were
was
just
like,
talking?
They
Yeah,
were literally just having a conversation.
and then Marissa was like, "Oh, this is good." And
I loved it.
Yeah.
So he was going through, how you throw a curveball and things like that. And I've seen. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I have a breast here.
Yeah.
Oh,
And a nipple.
nice.
It's got a nipple on it.
Do you
but
put your index finger on the nipple?
we don't have it. Yeah, well, you go like this.
That would be a split.
That's a splitter. But I was when people have over the years have messed around with pitches and try to manipulate the ball and make it move. Did you ever try some kind of finger configuration that you had never been shown before? Let me see if this works.
I did. I had a slider that in the big leagues, what hitters look for is a dot on a slider.
Right.
And I was trying to figure out a way to get rid of it.
Okay.
To get rid of the dot. And there was a pitching coach named Marty Demerit. He
So
used
real
to
quick,
be-
when they see the ball coming towards them, the way the seams are can
They
cause
see a
a
dot.
pattern
Yes.
on the ball.
That's how they pick up a lot of pitches. I know
Yep.
a lot
Also,
of people
the color
think
of
they
the
see
ball,
the
right?
turn.
Yep, the color.
The color of the
Could
ball
be
because
kind
of
of
the way
pink.
it's
Yes,
spin, yeah.
because it's a spin. It'll turn. You'll see the red seams turn into a dot on a slider.
That's wild.
So they'll know it's a slider coming.
Okay. So this guy,
Marty Demerit, was like, one finger. Throw it with one finger. It will just kind of cut.
Yeah.
And it'll work like a slider. And I threw that for a while, and then I didn't have him as a pitching coach anymore, and I lost it.
Yeah.
So I did try. I went back to the two finger slider, and it was showing a dot a lot.
It
So
seems like trying to get any sort of velocity or control with one finger would seem
I
impossible.
can't imagine throwing a ball without having all of my fingers wrapped around the ball.
When you're throwing that pitch, you really didn't care about velocity because if you're getting movement, they see a fastball.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't matter. Like if I was throwing it 86, 87, they're not seeing it.
They're gonna jump
seeing
on
a
it.
fastball. And so once they see fastball, they're already out in front. So if
Okay.
they're going to swing, you're going to get weak rollovers, maybe a weak pop-up.
Okay. Interesting. Fascinating.
And changeup was my nemesis.
The
I
changeup.
had the hardest time. Because I threw so hard when I first came up, I could not get a changeup to actually work.
Okay.
And then once I had surgeries, I went back to the changeup, and it actually turned out pretty good. But it took me like 6 years to develop one.
It's got to be frustrating as all hell.
It was
to lose something that you had and try to compress it every golf time you come back.
Oh my God! I'm always changing my technique and
Don't change anything in golf because one day you'll be great, and the next day you could suck.
yeah, without question.
I had my first time out this year. I shot like an 84, and I was like, all right, that's all right. But then I thought back, and I couldn't chip for some reason. First time out, and then I got better next time I went out. But it's like, what happened?
I'm doing the same thing I did yesterday, and I can't hit the damn ball. Yeah, exactly.
Are there any positives or negatives to the earpieces, the pitchers and the catchers, like that they can just,
You know what? I
is
got
it
to tell you something.
tone?
I think it's just so they hear. No, the pitchers, the things they put in their heads. No, it says what pitch.
Okay.
Oh,
Like it'll say slider, and I think and it depends on how advanced they are now. It could say slider away, slider in. It could
Really?
be fastball away, fastball in.
So it's not a code or anything like that.
It's
It
just a
flat out
little
says it.
voice. It's probably Siri telling them.
So it's just
Kill her,
like-
mommy. Kill her.
It's
Hit
like,
him in the head. Okay.
it's like the voice that records the crosswalk here in Philly. Like somebody
I
at MLB
guess.
just
I mean,
recorded.
it's one. That's why, like Aaron Nola calls his own. If you notice, he'll look down and he'll press a button on the side of his.
Oh, really?
Wouldn't that be great if it was like Ozzy Osbourne's voice or Arnold Schwarzenegger or
I
Rocky
guess
or
you
something
could put
like
whoever,
that?
right?
Yeah.
That would be great.
Is there a Spanish
Yes.
language version?
Yep.
There is?
Yep.
You would
Yes,
have
there
to
is.
have that
Yeah.
in this sport. Yeah.
I'm sure there's a Japanese one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
That's wild.
Technology, man.
Yeah.
It is wild. But I miss the 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Put them down. Let's go.
Yeah. Great 4.
Standard
Okay.
stuff. Yeah.
Like, it's out of the movies.
Yeah, when you're just having a catch, right? You're not throwing pitches or whatever. 3 fingers, 4 fingers.
2.
2? And not even your thumb?
Well, yeah.
All
I mean,
right.
but
So-
they never say like 2-seam fastball would not be, like this.
Okay.
It
I'm
wouldn't
always
be
full
1-1.
hand. The notion of fingers like that just blows my mind.
Yeah, because I'm.
It's they always the reason you learn that and like kids will throw with 3 fingers to start, and then they gradually their fingers will get bigger. They'll start throwing with 2. But it's just one of those things where you got to kind of just get a feel for it.
Hey, with the signals, did a catcher? Did you ever have anybody that would like flip you off or anything like that? Yeah, yeah.
Darren Dalton probably did that. A couple times.
I would figure that.
Who was known to kind of chirp at the batters, or would they all do it?
Catching wise,
Yeah,
out of all probably Dalton.
yeah.
Yeah, everybody looks at Darren as this kind of quieter type guy but yeah, he would say stuff.
It seems to me that there's just sort of a protocol that you wouldn't, you wouldn't get overly chirpy, right? I mean, it's kind of understood.
If you start chirping too much at the batter, he's got a weapon. I mean, in all honesty, back then, guys would use it. I've seen it. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen video of hitters turning around and just whacking the catcher with a bat.
Jeez.
I don't
Assault
remember
with a
ever
deadly-
seeing that. No,
Oh, you can find it.
Really?
Especially in the minor leagues. Yeah, there's
Damn.
guys that are out of their minds.
Well, then at that time they should have given the catchers a shield.
Yeah.
And
Well,
a
they
mace.
have enough equipment.
Yeah, the
Help
equipment,
used to. Yeah.
Yeah. I was a catcher in college. I used to talk to the hitters.
Did you really?
Yeah, I would
Okay.
like scream while balls coming in and stuff.
Really?
yeah.
Just try and
Okay.
distract them.
Yep.
Wow.
Now, obviously, that would be a.
Oh, umpires would get pissed.
Yeah.
I believe it.
And I would usually do it with an umpire that I don't like because, when you're in a certain conference, you get these umpires a lot.
Right, yeah.
And some of the ones that would lean on my back, that's the ones I would like scream when a pitch is coming.
So they're actually physically
Really?
hunched over on you.
Well, they hold like
They'll put their hand
they
on your
literally
shoulder.
put their weight on your back.
Yeah, that's
Never
sucks.
liked that.
Yeah.
Never liked
Hey,
that.
let's meet
I
afterwards.
wasn't
for
that
drinks.
big.
make you feel so
like,
good.
Like my first couple of years in college, I wasn't that big. I didn't have a growing spurt until my sophomore year of college.
Oh, no
Right.
kidding. Okay.
Yeah, so I was like 5'9", 170 pounds, and I'm getting pushed on by a guy that weighs over 200.
Yeah. That would be a problem.
I caught when I was a little kid, but then when I played softball, I caught as well. And I would talk in the middle
That's
of the
not
pitches.
catching.
Well, no. When you talk about what I would try and do is I would try and influence the batter because the by the way, I wore a mask too, and people made fun of me for that.
Yeah, it was
I
a
like,
Casper.
Did you ever get hit in the mask?
Yeah. And that's why I wore it. Like I was like, I'm not losing teeth for freaking barroom.
I wouldn't
softball.
either.
Yeah. But I would try and influence the batter, like when the pitch would because it comes so slow, I'd be like, well, this is a good pitch, and then they're like standing there like, oh, is this and you have them reaching. I thought it was pretty
A little bit of
ingenious.
mental warfare.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it can work. Yeah.
Can work.
You have a lot of
pretty good.
time to think about it. It's like,
I mean, there's always times you're going to be like embarrassed or whatever. I'll never forget Kurt Manwaring. You remember him? He caught for the San Francisco Giants, and he was he couldn't hit.
Right, yeah.
But I had no 2-pitch, and I just railed one inside, and I drilled him with like a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. He caught it like in between his arm and his ribs.
Jeez.
And he pulls it out, runs to first base, flips me the ball. I was never so embarrassed in my life. Usually you're like, I got to get a reaction from that.
That just happened to somebody the other day. Went right into his jersey.
Oh, that was a pitcher. Yeah, line drive. By the way, that's scary, man.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't understand how that when I used to pitch, when I was throwing hard, I never actually saw the ball hit the mitt.
Wow.
So think about that. If a ball's hit, you have like no time to react.
I remember, so it was Little League, and I was up at bat, and it is Little League.
Yeah.
And I hit a line drive right into the pitcher's face. And, it happens in a nanosecond. You don't realize that you're dealing with the athletes at your level at that time. I mean, it's like you might as well get shot.
Charles Johnson once smoked me right in the chest. He hit me 2 days in a row.
Jeez.
One of them off my leg that I caught. The other one hit me right in the chest.
Yeah.
And I went down like I was shot.
When you hear a ball careen off of somebody's head, it's actually a really jarring sound.
Oh, I don't want to.
I don't like that.
Billy Wagner got hit in the head once.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's hitting the back.
I did know.
Yeah.
It's freaky.
Andres Galarraga hit one past my ear one time, and I heard it. It
was like hissing by. Yeah.
And we've asked this question to other professions. What's a baseball dream like? You ever have
Like a
dreams
work dream.
A work dream.
I used to have bad ones.
Yeah? Like what was it? What was a bad dream?
Getting hit.
Okay.
Getting a ball hit directly at you, and the dream kind of went like it looked like a pea, and then it looked like a huge beach ball.
Yeah.
It was weird.
I would imagine something like that would wake you up.
Yeah, I
quick,
used to have those dreams.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
mean,
didn't think about
it was always one of those things where you never really thought of the positives.
Yeah.
When you're sleeping, I guess.
Would you be sleeping in your uniform? I can't shake it.
Might have been sleeping in wet boxers, but yeah. Oh man,
that's hilarious.
I have a question. I have a programming question.
Yeah.
Brad, I know Gene Simmons is canceled.
And neither of our guests are showing up right
And
now.
Brad Williams is
Yeah,
not.
yeah. So
What happened?
we can, people aren't like you, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Showing
you
up
show
on
up
time.
early.
Woo.
Yeah.
Gene Simmons says, by the way, it's supposed to be a 5-minute interview and blows that off. You listen, you're separating the pros from the amateurs.
Yeah, right.
And you want a pro, it's Ricky.
Yep.
I have a baseball here.
You want to try it?
Yeah, you want to have him throw it?
Throw it in.
No, but you were showing Casey, and this will, for the purposes of radio, I'll do my best to describe this. That what was the pitch where you?
It's a curveball. See, you did it wrong already.
Okay, but I mean, but your motion. So like my inclination is to go with my hand palm facing towards the batter and just throwing that with my palm coming downwards. But you actually turn your hand sideways.
When you're throwing a curveball, you literally have to think fastball until you get to the L. So
the
basically,
L.
well, see what I just did there?
Yeah. Oh, with your
Arms in
arm,
an L.
arm bend.
And then
Okay.
you go. I'll have the curveball grip. So you're coming like this, like it looks like a fastball coming out.
Okay. Yeah.
Then basically you just turn your hand.
You just turn your hand
and let your delivery go through. So you're not. If I was to do this, you see what I mean? You could see it coming.
Sure. I see. Yeah.
So it's always everything was always last minute. So you would think fastball. Now I turn and pull down to my landing leg.
So, what would be a classic screwball? Like
A screwball.
Yeah,
There's not a lot of people that throw them.
Yeah. So, but what? Because I've heard of it, and
It's literally completely. You hold like a 2-seam grip,
Okay.
and you literally turn it inside. So when you get to here, a curveball would be here.
Yeah.
The inside, you turn it in like this.
That's
and
even
throw it like that.
possible.
It doesn't feel good on your shoulder.
Yeah.
No wonder, pitchers, you guys do violent stuff to your hand,
It's
your
horrible for your arm.
Rotator.
your shoulder, all of that. Yeah. In fact, I remember hearing years and years ago that it does like irreparable damage to you over the long run.
My arm still kills.
So somebody like Nolan Ryan, who's just like a once in a generation, or a couple of generations people, how he ever made it that long is unbelievable.
That is unbelievable. I mean, I made it almost 12 years, and I tore everything in my shoulder.
When did you start when did you start to have the pernicious injuries? When did you right out of
About
the gate?
3 years into the big leagues.
Huh.
I mean, but you got to understand, we were abused.
Yeah.
Back then. I mean, I couldn't even tell you. There was one year I decided I'm going to keep all my times I'm up in the bullpen, but don't get in the game on the bottom of my hat. My hat was filled by the time it was like June.
Jeez. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's one of those things where you're like, wow, the arm only could take so much.
The thing that I think is frustrating for anybody and a professional athlete at any level, any sport, is when you're told rest it or put on the mend. I think everyone we've ever talked to, and this question's been posed to, they're just incredibly eager to get back to playing, and they always force it and always end up making it worse.
Yeah, they don't let them do that now.
They don't let them do that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting you said that because I had 2 quarter-size bone spurs taken out of my elbow, and this was 98, and I was throwing hard at the time. I came back and like 2 days later, they had me throwing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And when I tell you my whole arm from my wrist all the way up to my armpit was black.
Jeez.
Like it was dark black, like bruised.
That bruising.
blood, yeah.
And I'm like,
can you work on my penis?
Seem right. Like
can you do that on my penis?
I don't want to touch your penis.
Good answer. Good answer.
But when I came back, and then like they had me back in like down in minor leagues in a
That's
rehab
insane.
assignment in a month. I was throwing like 12 miles an hour less.
Yeah.
I could not get anything going, and apparently, after the fact, I found out that was probably the worst thing I could do is keep throwing through it because it's just going to keep bruising going, and then I end up like getting my ass kicked at the big league level because you only have 30 days in the minors to rehab.
Yeah. Right.
So I came up throwing like 85 miles an hour,
That's
getting
insane.
hammered.
You'd never see anything like that nowadays, right?
No.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, it happened to Jake Arrieta. He had the same thing. He was out for the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I probably would have. And that's what led to my shoulder going.
So they jump on you. There's no way you're playing because I think ultimately, even though they stay physical year round, and you're training year round and you're making sure your instrument is good.
Yeah.
I think there's a better understanding of, listen, you don't go completely sedentary so things lock up.
Right.
So, but you do it incrementally, and that's the key, correct?
Well, even when I had my shoulder surgery, the next day I was in rehab carrying a 10-pound weight, and doing circles with it, and I couldn't move my arm. I was just like literally like throwing it around doing circles. I never understood what the hell was going on.
Right. That sounds counterproductive.
Just following protocol or what they thought was protocol.
Wow.
Crazy. All right. Well, listen, we got to wrap up, gang. But
Appreciate
Ricky,
you guys.
Thank you so much for coming by early today. 97.5 The Fanatic. What's going on this afternoon?
Unfiltered.
Anything?
We're gonna have a little bit of everything. I know the Sixers' big win last night. Huge game for the Flyers coming up tonight. A Phillies win last night. So yeah, we're gonna have a little bit nice smorgasbord.
Yes.
Nice.
How about that word? How about that?
Yeah. All right. Well, this is the Phil's season so far. We'll see how things turn after Rob Thompson has been let go. But thanks for the insight, brother. We appreciate it.
Have a great one.
Ricky Batalico. Ricky, no middle name Batalico here. We'll cover that next time. Have you in. But we're going to take a break and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
All of us. It's all the collective. The camp out, all of this, anything, the achievement that has happened vis-a-vis this show has happened because it was everyone involved. If you've ever been out and supported anything or listened to the show at all, or there was any sort of joy or we communed on some level, you're a part of it as well. So, I mean, the joy that I feel about thinking about the time here and what all this area has meant to us is just, you can't even measure it.
We always try to have a little piece of music maybe to bring one of our guests on with, and I thought this was apropos. Couldn't stand the weather. Stevie Ray Vaughan. And we do have some weather coming in this weekend. Sunday, I'm going to talk this up a little bit because I love the beginning of this song. And it might be a little intense. We will have to find out for sure. So we wanted to call in a voice of authority, and we happen to have sitting in our studio that voice right here. Please welcome Mr. Nor'easter Nick.
All right. Good morning. Good
To our
morning.
program. How you doing, Nick?
I'm well. Thank you so much for inviting me in. This is an absolute honor. I've listened to you guys for a long time and very familiar with your show, and you have so much fun.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And Casey's wife is a huge fan of yours.
I've heard. So shout out to her who goes to the beach and has weather anxiety. I had weather anxiety as a kid growing up, and that's why I wanted to get involved in all of this.
I read about that, that you had a fairly pronounced fear of thunderstorms.
Yes.
And it's almost like the movie Twister, where you were not robbed of a parent by a storm, but it still scared the hell out of you.
I was so afraid of thunderstorms. My grandmother raised me. I would hide under my bed up until 2 weeks ago because I didn't understand why things happened the way they did, right?
Right.
But I would beg her to take me to the police department or the mall somewhere without windows where I couldn't see outside if there were thunderstorms. And then she would buy me weather books, and I just taught myself meteorology at like 6 years old, and I started doing weather for my elementary school in Brigantine at 6.
So when you do that, when you start to realize the awesome what's going on, the majesty and the power,
you got an appreciation for it. But to develop it that early at 6 and then do a complete 180.
So most people that are in this field knew what they wanted to do at a young age. There's a difference between weather weenies, which I am, and the ones that are, I just want to do it for the paycheck. It pays well. I want to be on TV.
Right.
Well, I'm more into it for the science. Like I am a true geek when it comes to this stuff. It's incredible.
Yeah. So, I mean, listen, and it's great that there's a little bit or maybe a lot of bit of predictability when it comes to the weather. Sure. And so, my wife sits there with like a bunch of different weather apps and she's connected to Norris and Nick as she's sitting on the beach because you see, you have this giant vista of clouds and you can potentially see what is coming.
Absolutely.
And then maybe other times you don't know what is coming. And so that I think is what gives her the fear is like, okay, well, what's behind all those houses? I can see clouds, but I can't see beyond the houses and stuff like that.
That's heavy duty.
And that's where Nor'easter Nick comes in. Yeah.
Well, it just goes back to when you understand something and when you have the education behind it and you know the why behind the what, it becomes less scary. And the way I always frame it is like when I talk to elementary school kids or middle school kids, you're going to learn algebra, right? Yeah. And it looks very scary. But as soon as your teacher teaches you that process, which shout out to teachers, love them, they're my favorite people, it's not as scary anymore because you understand the process. The same thing is true with weather. And my job is literally public safety first. And then in every forecast I do, it's breaking down the science behind meteorology. And I think when you bring it down to a level that everybody can understand, you're much more successful in your job.
Yeah.
I found that to be the case. I do like a half-hour live show every morning, and I just geek out over this stuff, and people appreciate it.
They clearly do.
I want to get what you think about this weekend because anybody who is tuned in for that, we're kind of dancing around this the whole thing. But we'll dive into meteorology and the science of it, and also I want to defend meteorologists. I think they get beat up more than they deserve to be. And with that, we're going into a questionable weekend with weather because you can't just flat out say, here's how much we're going to get and here's where we're going to get it because there are things that are changing that could alter that. So Sunday, let's get to that.
So you're trying to predict what a chaotic 3D fluid, which is water, is going to do at 30,000 feet 5 days in the future. That's why it's inaccurate at times. But this pattern we've been setting up for weeks. So to see it actually come to fruition is amazing. We have.
So let me just jump in if I could. When you say you've been setting up, you've been seeing the indicators it was going to go this way?
Absolutely.
Okay, but it's not that it has been formed and it has just been on this trek.
No, so we can look at overall patterns, and it's called pattern recognition, for a month out. We knew that there was going to be a ridge building in the west. We knew that there would be a trough in the east, but we knew that the upper air patterns, the teleconnections they're called, were going to do a certain thing a month out. You can't say with any degree of certainty that, there's going to be a storm on this date and it's going to do this.
Yeah.
But we can say, hey, there's probably going to be some activity within this week because the upper air pattern is telling us that's the case. So I love long range forecasting. I know it's a pain in the neck, but it's rewarding when you see it all come together. So with this particular storm, I do believe it's going to come together. All of our guidance is in lockstep with one another. There's a lot of moisture available. This is coming from the south. Anytime you have a southern storm, you have a lot of moisture. So that is the number one ingredient that you need, right? Number two ingredient is the cold air, which we clearly have. We have an Arctic outbreak that's going to be coming down from Canada as we go into Friday and Saturday. So once that happens, once you marry the moisture and the cold together, it goes bam, right? This is what's called an overrunning event. So low pressure develops down to the south, and that warm, moist air rises over the cold. It condenses, and then that's when you're going to get your thumping of snow. The one thing that does give me pause is it's going to be turning into a Miller B type storm. I know you're like, what the heck is that? There's going to be two pieces of low pressure. One out over West Virginia, and then it has to physically transfer its energy to the coastal low. And anytime that happens, so much can go wrong. I have PTSD about a storm that never happened back in 2015. So that comes to the forefront automatically.
So these are the variables. So let me ask you, for example, this weekend just passed. We had a bit of snow come through, and then it paused, and then another Is that similar to what you were just talking about? Or was that part of the same storm?
So completely different storm, but similar dynamics where there was a transfer of energy. It happened later on. It was down along the Carolina coast. So we had a little clipper system early in the morning. So we picked up a couple inches of snow out of that. Then there was this lull, a dry slot, which I highlighted for a couple days saying, hey, guys, this is possible. Yeah. That's why I didn't go with the 4 to 6 inches everybody was calling for. I went lower. Similar to this, I see the ridiculous totals of 18 to 24 inches that are being put out there.
I'm so glad you said ridiculous. So what are we thinking?
But what if I told you that that's possible?
Oh, you had to go there.
So yes, what's going to happen is that the models, the raw snowfall maps that you're seeing on social media right now, those are based off of a 10-to-1 ratio. And what do I mean by that? Well, if there's an inch of liquid that falls out of the sky, you have to multiply that by 10 to get how much snow you're going to get. So baseline 10, right? Well, that's when temperatures are around 32 degrees. That's called marginal. There's more moisture in each flake. We're going to be seeing snowfall at 15 to 20 degrees initially. So your ratio almost doubles. It'll be 15 or 20 to 1. So if an inch of liquid is falling out of the storm, you could end up with 20 inches. However, realistically, I'm going to, temper your expectations here.
So let me jump in again. And I apologize, but I'm so stupid that we need to be by the nose. I have heard that the snow that's going to fall is going to be of a very light, powdery nature.
Yes and no.
Oh.
So initially, absolutely. So like I said, we start off with temperatures in the teens. But as we go later into the afternoon on Sunday, I think we're fine up in the Philly metro area. But down towards the shore, the temperature gradient is going to increase so much. We'll get up above 32. You'll probably have some mixing with rain and sleet and some ice down there as well. So that's going to change the
Let's get to the bizarre file.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors. Right now, get 50% off installation or 0% APR for 48 months. You can call 877-98-PELLA to schedule your free in-home consultation or visit PellaPhilly.com. The story is out of Louisiana. A viral video on social media allegedly showing employees of a Louisiana restaurant skinning a deer prompted police to investigate. The Pineville Police Department said in a press release that they were called to the restaurant after getting a complaint that an employee was seen skinning a dead animal behind the building.
Oh, that place has the best fresh deer.
Officers on scene found evidence to show the animal was a deer, which had allegedly been found on the side of the road and brought back to the restaurant. So it wasn't just a deer, it was roadkill. While investigating, police said they found the deer carcass in the freezer alongside other food items.
Hey, don't order that venison.
Those other items were allegedly intended to be served to customers. Police contacted the Department of Health. No arrests or charges have been announced.
Look, a cat!
The restaurant posted a note to the front door.
This is the best day ever.
Regarding the investigation, they said, "We apologize for the recent incident. The item involved was never intended to be served to customers, but it was improperly stored. It has been fully cleaned and sanitized. We are cooperating with the health authorities and have corrected our procedures to ensure this does not happen again. Thank you for understanding."
So their competition across town now boasts less roadkill than our competitor.
While eating deer is not uncommon in Louisiana, there are specific rules about roadkill. In Louisiana, the collection or harvesting of roadkill is illegal unless you have permission from the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries.
And I assume no restaurant gets permission to do that.
Not that I know of. All right, this is a terrible story. Dozens of sloths destined to a Florida slotharium died in a warehouse or while in transit to the Orlando location, according to the state wildlife office. The 31 deaths occurred between December 2024 and February 2025. The majority of the sloths died in an unheated warehouse while awaiting transfer to the still unopened Sloth World exhibit.
I mean, that's going to be a huge hit, Sloth World.
An unannounced routine inspection at the Orlando warehouse by the FWC uncovered the deaths. Sloth World told the FWC it placed an order for 21 sloths from Guyana 15 two-toed sloths and 3 six-toed sloths.
Sounds amazing.
That arrived in December 2024. Those 21 sloths all died due to what Sloth World described as a cold stun.
It was going to open right next to Possum Palace.
The building was not suitable for the animals, noting that before the sloths arrived, the facility had no water or electricity. Sloth
Doesn't
World,
look like they were ready for this animal influx.
they told the FWC that the warehouse was not ready to receive the sloths, but it was too late to cancel the shipment. They couldn't return their sloths.
Yes, I'd like to cancel the sloth order, please.
Multiple space heaters were purchased, but the report said that they had to be powered from a different building using extension cords.
Man, sloths are a nightmare.
And this tripped a fuse, meaning that there was no heat in the building the night the sloths died. The minimum recorded temperature that night was approximately 46 degrees. Another 10 sloths from Peru arrived in February 2025, and upon arrival, 2 were found dead, and the remaining 8 later died at the warehouse due to health complications.
I'm suspending your sloth license.
During the inspection, the FWC noted 6 two-toed sloths living in the warehouse, and the report says cages for the 2 did not meet regulations, so the owners received a verbal warning. No fines or citations were issued. U.S. Representative Maxwell Frost announced his office was looking into the tragedy. Sloth World did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The website for Sloth World currently reads, "Pardon our dust. We're working on something amazing. Check back soon."
Turns out the death of these sloths was the deadliest sin.
Thank you. All right, moving on. A bizarre set of circumstances. This is in Washington, D.C.
I want more sloths.
A bizarre set of circumstances led to a 14-year-old girl firing an off-duty police officer's gun inside a popular gaming center earlier this month. A D.C. police captain was at Level 99, a large entertainment center that bills itself as an adult playground with more than 50 physical and mental challenges in themed rooms.
These are supposed to be really cool, these places.
So this guy, the police captain, lost his personal weapon while he was playing the game. A teen found the weapon, thought it was a prop, and pulled the trigger, investigators said.
Wow, this thing is really accurate.
No one was shot, fortunately. It's unclear how much time passed from when the officer lost his gun to when the girl found it and fired.
Whoopsie daisy.
The teenager requested medical assistance, but according to a spokesperson, she was not taken to the hospital. Detectives investigated the incident, but no charges have been filed against the officer who who eventually did get his gun back.
Nothing was filed against him for losing his gun in a...
I mean, come on, man.
It's just a gun.
Mm-hmm. Francesco and Giacomo Fiorloni.
Hey!
22-year-old identical twins from Italy were fatally electrocuted while trying to retrieve a decoy bird from a 20,000-volt power line during a hunting-related activity.
Did they think it was a real bird?
No. So they were...
my decoy.
One brother died instantly after contact with the wires, and the other was killed moments later while trying to help him. Authorities are investigating the circumstances of the accident, which occurred in a location difficult for emergency crews to access.
I got some sad news for you. The twins, they were electrified to death going after a fake bird.
So Francesco and Giacomo were killed when a carbon fiber pole they were using to retrieve a decoy bird touched medium voltage power lines carrying about 20,000 volts. First responders attempted CPR but were unable to revive the 22-year-old twins. Investigators say one brother was electrocuted after his pole made contact with the cables, and the other was fatally shocked when he tried to reach him. Apparently it happened within moments. So the Farloni brothers were training decoy pigeons for hunting season when one bird landed on the power lines, triggering the chain of events.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so they were real birds, I believe, but they were used as decoys or something along those lines. So,
I want you to pretend you're a decoy.
Isn't that weird?
Stay completely motionless.
And that is why I put it in the bizarre file this morning. All right, we have we got about 2 minutes and change before we get to the word for no sad dough. So we got a moment or two before we get into
Should we
that.
break out the jug band?
Well, I was wondering if you want us to. Do you want us to sing "Happy Birthday" to the radio station, or we could?
Happy
You know what?
We gotta have that, right?
That's what that was from, right?
Yeah.
What year was that?
I couldn't even tell you.
12 years ago.
But it's pretty wild that we had the MM barbecue on that date.
It's crazy.
Or maybe it was as close to the date as we could get.
Maybe right around.
Happy birthday to you.
I was so drunk.
Happy birthday to you.
I forgot the words to Happy Birthday.
That's the worst is when you get to the name part.
Yeah, because rather than say dear, it would probably be Happy Birthday, MMR.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and
Thank you guys.
Well, yeah.
Thank you guys.
So because of the syllables, right? Do you drop the word dear? Nobody discusses this stuff ahead of time.
True. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to drop the word dear because it makes more sense to drop that because there's so many syllables in WMMR.
Classically, we would always happy birthday, dear Sheldon or whatever.
But if you've got a multi-syllabic thing, you can alter it.
Or when the person at the table, you assume they're sitting down, has different names, monikers, right? So if it's a mom, a dad, or an aunt, uncle, or grandmom,
Yeah.
you know,
Pop,
so
pop.
happy birthday, dear Mom, Diane, Marilyn, Aunt Diane, grandmom.
What if it's your daughter's father?
What? Oh, dude, my daughter. What if it was my son's brother? Happy birthday, dear my son's brother.
Other son.
But
otherwise be
you're
known as my
probably
son.
correct, Casey, in that a quick discussion may be the
Would
solution.
everyone gather backstage? We have to work on this.
Hey,
before I bring out the cake.
Thank God Cha-Cha-Cha's not really a thing anymore.
Cha-cha-cha was a thing for a while,
It
though.
was.
But
You're
it's
right.
gone the way of the dodo, yes?
Yeah, last few times. In fact, we sang, it was
Now it's-
Kayla's birthday the other day, and we did not do Cha-Cha-Cha.
Yeah.
Did you get laid, get effed?
No,
Oh, that's Moni Moni.
we did Skip Around the Room. You know that one?
I like
I heard, yeah.
Skip around the room.
That was
skip
a,
around the room. Birthday boy must skip around the room.
That's a Will and Lori.
Yeah, and then you get up and run around the room. We're like, we love that. So
Dude,
we started doing
I
that.
saw the Carter's birthday.
Yeah.
If you're the person that is bringing out the cake, you have to be a strong singer.
Yeah.
Because if
You're
it's
the
a
one who has to
surprise,
start it.
you
Yeah.
got to get
Oh.
it started.
Yeah.
You can't just expect people to start it singing when you see the candles show up.
Happy birthday. By the way, with that as well, if you're going to put a sheet cake or anything on a platform, make sure it's not a slippery platform.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Wow. When Preston's birthday, if you remember, Marissa brought the cake in and then it fell icing down right at his feet here. That was was one of my favorite things ever that happened. But when I
Here, you pig.
When I'm bringing out the cake, I actually lead up with a da-da-da-da-da-da. Happy birthday.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's a good lead in.
You should do the big, like the Money for Nothing and have that big entry.
Yeah.
Bam, 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 bam. All right. Hey, it's after 10. Shut up.
93.3 WMMR Philadelphia. It's time for a keyword.
All right, and the word is prize, Prize. And you have until 25 minutes after the hour to enter it. And you can do it on the MMR app or WMMR.com, or you can text it the special contest short code number, and that's 45911. One random entry will win $1,000 in our company-wide contest. And if you're a winner, you'll get a call from Beasley. Make sure you answer your phone. Contest rules are available at WMMR.com. And the Preston and Steve No Sad No, sponsored by Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union. So the word is prize, Prize. We wish you luck. Come and get that $1,000. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
So your ratio is not going to be consistent from, say, the Lehigh Valley all the way down towards the shore. Right around Philly will be probably 18-1. Down towards the shore, it's probably going to be more like a 12-1. So that's another variable that we have to take into consideration. First 8 hours of the storm, it's going to be fluffy. As the low climbs up north in latitude, that ratio is going to change a little bit. You'll get more of a wet consistency, and then it's going to be kind of crunchy snow, and then that's all going to freeze over. So
Okay, so it's Wednesday, right? It is Wednesday. When do you think you'll have a clearer picture?
probably by Monday morning.
Well,
No.
if you're going to be the clearest,
Right?
you're probably
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Well, when will we? So right now, in this area, in Philadelphia, in the general outlying areas, when should we start to see the first snowfall, and when should we expect it wrapping up? I'll ask for the snow total projection.
So realistically, I'll know by tomorrow.
Okay.
What type of snow we're going to get, how much. I think that the first flakes will fall after, say, midnight on Saturday. So if you have plans on Saturday, I know I've had people message me about weddings and stuff, you're good.
Yeah.
But late Saturday night, it's going to start. It'll be light at first, and then the moderate to heavy snow would break out probably after daybreak, 7, 8, 9 o'clock on Sunday morning. And then it's going to snow throughout the day on Sunday. Wow. And then for our teacher friends out there, I think you're going to probably get another Monday off, as some light snow showers will still be with us on Monday, but we'll be digging out. I think at the very least, we're going to get about 6 inches.
All right, what time should I start on the driveway so that I haven't wasted my time? You know what I mean? Should I wait till the evening to get to that, as late as possible before going to bed Saturday into Sunday? Or Sunday into Monday, I mean?
Yeah, so I think you obviously want to put down the salt first. And you're lucky in that it is going to be lighter, especially if you live up this way. So it's not going to be a back-breaking snow. But I would hold off until probably before bed on Sunday.
Son of a bitch.
I'm sorry.
No, you're right.
Well, we go to bed. We get up crazy early in the morning.
That makes sense.
So,
But the problem is, if you let it go overnight, the temperatures are going to plunge again.
That's what we don't want.
And if we do get the wetter snow to work in, then that's all going to freeze over, and it's going to be a block of ice.
All right, so another question. I hate to bombard you with this. I will pre-treat. At a certain point, though, the snow falls, temperature drops.
Sure.
It's a moot point.
Exactly.
So what I do is I treat, and I will do a couple of passes. But you're saying a safe bet to sort of, in this general area, around 7?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay.
7, 8 o'clock, but you're probably in bed by then, so 7.
Yeah, all right, there we go. And hopefully a lighter, snow blowable kind of.
Well, and then the other issue with that is we'll probably have some level of wind, and then that's going to create reduced visibility, and
all right.
So
I'm just wondering about my commute, or our commute, I should say, on early Monday morning.
Yeah, that's going to be a rough one.
Yeah,
especially up this way, you're probably going to have 6 inches of snow on at least 6 inches on the ground. So as long as PennDOT and NJDOT do their job. I mean, they're the great people out there. So
one of the big secrets is that it's a double-edged sword. You're going out on roads that aren't, maybe not be in optimum condition. They've been doing a good job as of late.
Sure.
But it's also less of the slushed up, gummed up, gooed up traffic nightmare. So you're kind of driving on virgin snow that is actually, I find, more drivable.
Yeah, you're right. I found that as well. I guess it all depends on the type of tires you have. And unfortunately, as good a driver as one may be, you never know who else is out there that doesn't know how to drive in those conditions.
Right, and that's where the odds are in our favor. There are nobody out to begin with.
This is true. This is very true.
All right, so we've gotten the weekend and your predictions. Let's talk a little bit about you, because you are you're essentially a social media meteorologist.
Sure.
Instagram, your main platform?
Mostly Facebook, but Instagram and TikTok at Nor'easter Nick. But I spent a decade in local TV news.
Yeah, where were you working? Give us your resume.
NBC 40 out of Atlantic City. I got my job when I was 17.
Okay.
So I was still in high school.
You're a Brigantine, you were born, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Atlantic City. I grew up in Brigantine. So I did weather all through middle school. I went into high school, Hamilton High, and my 2 TV media teachers came to me and they said, there's a job posted for NBC 40 for a weekend meteorologist. And I said, you guys are crazy. I'm 17. I'm never going to get a job. Well, I put together a demo reel, sent it out, and I get a call back like a couple weeks later, and they hired me on the spot.
Wow. That's great.
I did that for 10 years. Then they closed down when Comcast bought NBC. They didn't want us competing with NBC in Philly anymore. So I had a decision to make. Do I go into a new market, or I had a decent social media following at the time, so I decided to start my own business. I called all the advertisers and said, if I start a hyper-local weather network, would you support? I started with 5, enough to pay my mortgage and my bills, and now we've got 60 advertisers, and we have a staff of 22 and 4 different companies under the Norcast umbrella.
You have a staff of 22 people?
Yes.
All doing what?
So we have different divisions. We have a production and marketing company, so we have people there. We have a weather consulting company, which people are working behind the scenes consulting with towns and municipalities and landscapers. And then I just bought a magazine. So like literally all over the place.
Okay, well, let me ask you, as a meteorologist, and as one who has gone into business for themselves, when you see television meteorologists, they have access to, from what I assume, is company-owned equipment and things like Doppler radar and all this other stuff.
Sure.
So those are extremely expensive. What do you own your own weather detecting equipment?
I do. I have the same technology that 6ABC has. And how did I do that?
Yeah.
Well, when I worked at my station, the last 6 months I was there, we happened to buy all of this. Before that, it was all PowerPoint, and it was very basic.
So the station was going under. You bought the equipment
And I
that they
said,
own.
I'll pay you pennies on the dollar. I bought everything for less than 10 grand.
Wow.
Yeah. So
you've got the same deal.
But wait, there's more.
Okay.
So I did some interim work for a year and a half for a station that was trying to do all of New Jersey's news. Right around COVID. And it was the perfect timing because I was like, well, I need healthcare and that kind of stuff. And they hired me, and they lasted about a year and a half. They went under. Guess what? They also had the same equipment. And I said, I'm going to buy that from you. So now I have 2 TV stations equipment in my house, in my home TV studio. And that's how we run everything.
And so you have this sort of weather empire.
Yeah.
What a lot of people comment about, and I have to admit, recently turned on to by these guys here, and Casey's wife being a huge fan, is you're bringing it down to a really localized thing. So even and we have wonderful weather people, media people who do a great job. But a lot of times you're shooting for the largest umbrella, so to speak, no pun intended. And a lot of people say, "What about my area? What about?" And they really want you to say, "What about on my street?" But you kind of massage that a little bit with what you do.
I do. You know what? I have a lot of fun with it. I think most people understand you can't get that hyper specific, but our whole model is about being in your backyard, essentially. We don't want to be vague in general. So we do focus on the 7 South Jersey counties, and now we are coming over the bridge into Philly territory. I was just at the King of Prussia Mall over the weekend.
Yeah.
No lie. 5 people stopped me to talk. And I was like, this is really cool because my career started in Atlantic City, and now I feel like I'm being validated in the Philly market.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. You're such a self-starter. It's a great success story. This is a little bit of personal nature, and if you don't want to answer it, that's fine. But you talked about getting into meteorology at such a young age and being hired at 17.
Yeah.
Were you ever were you so fascinated with it and open about it that it ever led to like bullying because you were just as nerdy and geeky as you were?
Yeah, you know what? The only real bullying I ever had in my life was from my mother, unfortunately. So my grandmother raised me. She was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. I had to take care of her. And then when it got so bad, I took care of her for 4 years, all through I was like 10 when she was diagnosed.
Whoa. So how phenomenal is that, man?
It's my favorite version of that.
I love that. Rusted Root, 93.3 WMMR, several years ago. I'd like to find out when that happened, but when was it, Case?
Yeah, you know what? It set it up there. Hang on. If I go like...
well, while you're doing that, we had the entire band in our studio.
Yeah.
And it was like 8 people performing full percussion and everything. It was 2008. Is that correct?
Yeah.
2008 that they stopped by here and performed that morning. It was so cool. I'll never forget that.
We just, our jaws dropped.
Yeah.
The sound coming out. And then obviously his vocal ability is pretty amazing.
Part of the 58 years that WMMR has been in existence. It's our birthday today.
Yeah.
So we're playing exclusive MM archive cuts, and we'll find out from Matt in a little while what he has in store. Before we dive into anything else, though, I do want to remind you have a few minutes left till 25 minutes after the hour to enter our No Sad Dough keyword, and it's prize, Prize. So make sure you text that over to 45911. Or you can go through the MMR app or go to WMMR.com and you can enter it there. So don't miss your chance to win $1,000. All right, we have something else to give away. We are going to give away for the lesson question a pair of tickets to see the band Dog Star. It's Keanu Reeves' band. Friday, August 14th, Hard Rock Live at Edis Arena, Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Atlantic City. The question we're going to go with this morning, what fake movie sequel was inspired by a toilet advertising this morning? Let's see if you heard that. We were talking about this guy in Philly. He does advertising on his toilet. He's got millions and millions of views.
Yeah.
Let's see if you remember what the fake movie sequel was inspired by that toilet advertising. 610-660-9333. See if you do know the answer, then call and we'll see if you end up winning, all right?
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by Dermatology Associates of Plymouth Meeting Research Department. A pediatric hair loss study is now enrolling kids ages 12 to 17 with severe alopecia areata. You can learn about hair loss research near you at PlymouthMeetingDermatology.com. What's up this morning, Steve?
Well, Preston, Brooklyn Beckham and singer Cody Simpson meeting up for a bro dinner at a trendy sushi restaurant in West Hollywood. Eavesdroppers say the two discuss business opportunities as well as whether or not monsters are real. Megan Thee Stallion announcing she split from NBA star Klay Thompson over his infidelity. Megan says the last person she thought would cheat would be a basketball star.
Oh my God.
And finally, the director and producer of the biopic Michael paid an additional $25 million by Michael Jackson's estate to reshoot the third act, taking out all references to the sexual abuse charges. Instead, the movie now concludes with Jackson helping to cap an oil rig fire. And that's your Hollywood Trash.
All right, we need to see if someone knows what fake movie sequel was inspired by toilet advertising. 610-660-9333. Look who it is. We got Sap joining us this morning. What's up, Sap?
Guys.
How you doing, buddy?
YouTube.
Yeah. All right, Sap, name that fake movie sequel, please.
Bidets of Thunder.
Bidets of Thunder. That is correct. Hang on just a second, Sap. We are going to set you up, buddy. We are going to give you a pair of tickets to see the band Dog Star. They're going to be playing Friday, August 14th. Hard Rock Live at Edis Arena at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Atlantic City. Tickets are on sale now at hardrockac.com.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
And it is brought to you by Hellsberg Diamonds. Mother's Day is Sunday, May 10th, and Hellsberg has you covered with classic gifts that mom's going to love, up to 50% off. Shop in store or online at Hellsberg.com. Just a couple of items to mention this morning. We will start with former Kiss guitarist Bruce Kulick. He had heart valve surgery. 72 years old. The procedure was not an emergency. An aortic birth defect had caused a valve to become dangerous over time, meaning doctors needed to act.
Stop making a big thing about it, you pussy.
Kulick wrote on Instagram, heart valve surgery is a success on the road to recovery. Special thanks to my heart surgeon and the staff for treating me like a rock star.
I wasn't familiar with the name. Are you familiar with this guy?
I've heard his name, yeah. But I don't really know that era of Kiss. He joined in 1984. Lead guitarist for 12 years.
Wow.
His first tour was Animalize, and he kept going until the 1996 reunion, the tour that brought back the original lineup, and he played on 6 studio albums and 2 live recordings with Kiss, so he was with them for a
substantial,
good stretch, yeah. He also played with groups like Grand Funk Railroad, tours of recording sessions with Meatloaf, Billy Squier, Michael Bolton, and many others.
That'd be the best thing if you show up for a recording session and they're serving meatloaf.
That would be, right? Yeah.
That'd be great.
All right, and then just one more thing. Rod Stewart was slow to gain recognition from the Grammys, earning his first nominations in 1980 and his only win in 2005 for Stardust, A Great American Songbook, Volume 3. But now CBS and the Recording Academy are honoring him with Forever Young, a Grammy salute to Rod Stewart Live.
Well, that's going to be damn good.
I
Between
agree.
the Faces and his earlier stuff, and obviously there was some more poppy stuff later on.
Yeah,
but it's all good.
A disco era and all kinds of. I love Rod Stewart. Saw him in concert one time. It's what you knew every single song, and you sang along to every single tune. It was excellent.
I love Every Picture Tells a Story.
Yeah.
It's such a great song.
Did he melt your butter?
Oh my God, no, he melted my butter.
Was it dripping down your legs?
Just dripping all the way down.
Did we ever do that for you?
To my ankles. Oh, you'll never know, Gene.
Bend over.
So it's going to be May 19th, 8 p.m. The 2-hour special was filmed in Hollywood, Florida, and features performances, interviews, and archival footage. And it offers a behind-the-scenes look at Stewart's life, family, and music.
I like that.
Over his career, he's received 15 Grammy nominations across multiple genres, including pop, rock, disco, and traditional pop. And the thing about Rod is his voice is so unique.
Yes.
It has that scratchy, multi-frequency, whatever sound to it.
But he controls it.
He sounds like anyone else. But he's on key perfectly, and he's just a great performer.
With Jeff Beck, people get ready.
Oh man, love that
So
version.
good.
Yeah, and from that same pairing, Infatuation.
Oh my God,
what a great song!
Oh
right?
my God, no, it's a great song. It's a great song.
Yeah. So Rod Stewart, and that's coming up on May 19th. It's be really cool. All right, and there you go. That's what I have in music news for you. All right, we will take a break. You want me to mention that word one more time, Case?
No, well, I
We're
was
looking for something.
thinking, well, I mean, just a birthday celebration. But,
First let me mention the word is prize for No Sad Dough. And yes, we have one more song to play. We're going to play the warning?
Yep.
Excellent. We had the warning in the studio a couple of years ago, and they were fantastic. So we'll take a quick break playing more of the MM archives for the birthday of WMMR. Coming back in just a moment, so stay put.
My parents, and my mother has issues. She would call me the F word, like just everything under the sun.
For the gay slur?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was a little rough, but thank God I had the weather and the TV studio because I poured all of my energy into that. My classmates were great. Like I never had any issues. When I got into the industry professionally, I've had people that were kind of like eggheads that looked down on me because I didn't go the same route that they did.
Right.
And,
you were too busy buying your own ratings.
Your own equipment.
Were you temporarily put into foster care at some point?
No. So once my grandmother's condition got so bad, she sold our house and then I moved in with my parents. And, I went from, we weren't rich, but my grandmother took care of me.
Okay.
And, when I moved to my parents, I learned living on welfare and food stamps. I slept on the floor of my mother's bedroom, and I got my first job pushing carts at ShopRite. And if I wasn't home for dinner, I didn't eat that night. So a lot of stuff was going on in those, formidable years when your brain is, really taking shape. And it was a lot of negativity, but I learned how to turn it into a force for fuel.
It generated drive clearly within you.
I told you guys he had an amazing story.
and you lost a sibling?
I did. My younger brother, Matt, it was the month before my wedding, and I had put him through rehab a few different times. And to this day, I feel like if I would have said yes the last time, maybe it would have been different. Like literally 5 days before I got a phone call that he passed, he was like, I really want to do it this time. I want to go down to Florida. I want to get out of this. Will you help me? And I said no because he relapsed every single time. So that weighs on me to this day.
It's a natural inclination to do that. You can't beat yourself up though. Sometimes because one of the menu options is, well, maybe saying no is the way it's going to work this time.
Right.
It could have been,
You're right.
either or. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
The thing that gets you through is you had a passion early that you knew about. I think we all at one level or another knew what we wanted to do to know that, or at least to take the time to find the thing that motivates you can be so liberating to your life.
It can be.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're just tuning in, it's Nor'easter Nick who is joining us, and we were talking about the weather forecast this week. And I said I wanted to defend meteorologists. I never get mad at the weather person. I never have.
That's so nice of you. Thank you.
Well, I just understand that it's a complex science, and it's Mother Nature. Things are fluid, and you put it perfectly. As in, it's like water. It's fluid.
Yes.
It moves around. It's the entire world is a stew of all these atmospheric things that are taking place, and that you take the evidence that's given to you, which is constantly changing, and you make predictions at certain time frames, 24 hours from now, 48 hours from now, or a week from now, and so on. There are trends and all this stuff. It's literally like a brew, like you're, you know what I mean?
Sure.
That these things are swirling around, and so I know people who hands down they'll hear a forecast and they'll say, well, these weather guessers, they don't know anything. I'm like, no, it's a constantly fluctuating piece that's happening. And so when it gets closer and closer, obviously you can be more detailed in your predictions, but I just want to go on record that I understand you guys catch a lot of crap. And it's definitely not deserved.
Well, I will take you off of my naughty list.
Thank you.
I have a list of people. So.
Well, let me ask you this then, because I agree with that. But it also, the weather is always, they're milking it a lot of times.
100%.
And so what happens is when they were naming rainstorms.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that.
And they were they were trying to, sometimes that creates panic.
Sure.
The over coverage. And so that'll be the deal. I don't as far as you're only still guessing, but I'm sure you as you're really committed to this sort of demur from that as well.
So here's the difference between me and most people on TV. Like, this is my business. I have to be right.
Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, I admit it. That's important. You need transparency. And then I will explain, hey, this is what happened. X, Y, and Z came together or didn't come together. And that's what happened as a result. Unfortunately, corporate media, corporate news these days, it's all about let's get as many viewers as possible because they know that they're bleeding people to digital media.
Yeah.
I have no boss. I have no management telling me what to do or say. I'm not going to hype an inch of snow. And I think that is what people respect.
Right.
I'm always going to get the people that are naysayers, but I'm a very sarcastic person.
Right.
And I will make videos poking fun at them. It's just, I'm crazy. That's what I do.
All right, so I didn't know how to ask this question, so I was going to ask you it one way, I'm going to ask you it this way.
Okay.
So now it's two questions.
Yeah.
Name the movie from the meteorologist, Phil Connors.
Oh, Groundhog Day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sam Sparks.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, wow. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
I've never seen that.
Get out.
But Groundhog Day is literally my favorite movie. And I'm so disappointed because several years ago when I was at my station, I told my news director, I want to drive out to Punxsutawney and do the live coverage. And this is when I met Jim Cantori, by the way, who's in my book.
Yeah.
Big role model for me. I was disappointed because it's not what's in the movie.
No.
It's totally different.
No, it's not.
I was lied to my entire life.
Yeah, it's nothing like that.
All right, what movie is just like, oh my God, man, do they get this is an embarrassment.
Day After Tomorrow.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought so.
I mean, so
that might be one of them.
Twisters, I went to see. I was skeptical, and then I'm watching. I'm like, all right, this is pretty solid stuff. Like the
Twister
The new
or
one.
Twisters?
Twisters.
Okay.
The new
Like
one.
Twister got some stuff wrong,
Yeah.
but I think they made up for it in the new version.
Okay.
I loved that.
So the newer version is actually more, by your reckoning, scientifically accurate.
I think
All
so.
right.
Right.
What about this? What about the fire twister that happens over the refinery?
So that's a thing.
Yeah.
It has to do with temperature inversions and the flow of air. But and you look at wildfires all the time out in
Yeah, it
California.
happens, yeah.
It's really cool to see. And when I go to schools, people always ask me about that.
Yeah,
And shark tornadoes. Come on, Sharknadoes.
Sharknado, yeah.
Tornadoes. Well, you're an admitted weather geek. What was the weather like in Philadelphia on January 9th, 1793, when the first hot air balloon flew?
Oh my goodness, that it's funny. When we first connected doing the podcast.
So Nick was a guest on the first episode of the 52 Weeks of First podcast, and we talked about the first hot air balloon ride that was right here in Philadelphia.
It was great. I love that. I love what you're doing, and you're such a fun person. So you're like the perfect person to do that with. But now, you know what? Similar to today, but just a little bit colder because climate change wasn't a thing back then. Very unstable air masses to fly air balloons any time of in the winter.
But you had such great insight about why was it in a prison? Well, it was a prison because in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia proper, there weren't many places without trees and buildings.
Right.
And obviously there were no trees around where people would be climbing out. And it's just, you brought some really great insight to the podcast. So thank you.
I apprate that.
Nick, you've got a book coming out?
It came out
or is
yesterday.
it out? Okay. Do tell.
It's called Rain Date. It's literally about my life. There was a point when I was 14. I was so down and out because of the mental abuse and the overall situation. I remember thinking, and it's horrible to say, but I remember thinking that maybe life would be better without me.
Yeah.
And I walked to the train tracks, and this was like 2:00 in the morning. And I heard the train in the distance, and I heard a voice in my head. It was my grandmother, who had passed away by that point, that don't do this. I taught you better. So it was at that moment I turned around and I decided to turn the negativity into a fuel for success. And the book is all about overcoming adversity. And
they are fantastic. So we're celebrating MMR's 58th birthday today by sharing exclusive pieces of music that you'll only hear here from the MM archives, and that will continue on. But we had a lot of really good stuff, and we kicked off the day with James Taylor.
So good.
In Carolina, in my mind, which was just awesome. So we've had a good time playing the music this morning. I would like to thank our guests. We had Taryn Hatcher on earlier this morning. Taryn, it was like a last-minute addition to the show. She is not auctioning off, she's selling off all this merch that she's gotten for the years of working for NBC Sports that she would wear on camera. And she's like worn maybe once, maybe twice, and has so much of it and wants to sell it and put the money to charity. She's going to give it to the PSPCA, and that's happening tomorrow. So, and she's not auctioning, so it's not going to go for ridiculous amounts.
Right.
You can get, stuff for $15, $20, $30, even less possibly.
I like that. It gives everyone a shot at getting something.
So tomorrow at Scamps on Arch Street, it's 218 Arch in Old City from 4 to 6. Stop by, make a donation, and get some gear. And there's men's gear as well that she was saying too. So Tom McCarthy gave her some of his stuff too, which is cool. And then we also had, thank you to Mike and Alex. We went on Fox Good Day this morning, and Ricky Bo.
Yay!
As we were talking about the big changes taking place with the Phils.
He was great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
A lot
We
of
love having him
insight.
on. Yep, and definitely you're going to be talking more about Rob Thompson on his show later on today. Matt's here. Hey, Matt.
Love Ricky Bo.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
He golfed once with Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
No.
Can you tell us that?
Well, you've told me that,
Oh,
man.
yeah. Maybe I'm making it up. He golfed once with Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, and John Daly.
amazing.
And Bill
Wow.
Murray once.
Did he?
That was
He
his
told us a
fifth-
few things.
I know Barry Bonds went after him once. He hit Barry Bonds with a pitch.
Oh, wow.
And he charged them out. Right, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they play that drop a lot on the Fanatic. Like, Bonds is going after Ricky Bo right now.
And they were golfing at the time.
They were-
Yeah.
And he just threw a hard ball at him.
Decided to throw a ball at him. That's crazy, man.
But loved hearing all the songs today. That James Taylor. And then the Rusted Root, was that
Here.
was no, was that here?
was here.
Okay.
Yeah. In the
'Cause
studio.
I have I'm looking at the list. We have them at Sigma Sound in 97.
Yeah, this was 08, I
08.
think, that they came by here, which was just awesome, man.
That was October of 2008, which means the Phillies were in the World Series. We had 12 or 9 people performing in our studio. That was a fun month.
No, they're a big band.
Yeah.
Big hippie band too.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, like Pittsburgh and
Play a little hacky sack. while
right,
you listen
right.
to
I think
them.
they
Yep. Yep.
traveled in a Winnebago.
Yeah, they were great, man.
No, so I got some good. Oh, you want to let it first?
Let's do the letter, and then we'll find out.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
And the Preston and Steve Show brought to you today by the letter
R as in rat dog.
Rat Dog. Wow.
Rat dog.
All right, we're going to give away a pair of tickets to see each of these concerts, part of the Live Nation Summer Concert Sale. It's a pair for Breaking Benjamin, not, what did I say yesterday?
Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin.
Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin.
That video is now on our Instagram if you haven't seen it.
All right, Benjamin, Breaking Benjamin, Evanescence, Barbecue, Motley Crue, the Black Crowes, and Muse. Making a Summer of Live from starting actually today till Tuesday, May 5th. You can head to livenation.com/summer of live and see what participating shows are selling for just $30 tickets. So it's a pretty sweet deal. So what's up today, man?
Well, I'm all flyered up.
Yeah, I see that. You're wearing your Lindros hat.
Lindros hat. Flyers tonight have to win, or there'll be a Game 7 on Saturday, into which nobody wants.
Nope.
Nobody wants that.
And if the Sixers win tomorrow, there'll be a Game 7 on Saturday, which would be kind of wild, having two teams with 2 Game 7s probably at the same time.
It would be insane.
But we're celebrating MMR's 58th birthday today, so all kinds of archive stuff. I got a lot of stuff that happened on Planet M, a show I used to do here.
Yeah.
So I got Matthew Sweet doing Girlfriend.
Oh, cool.
I got the Goo Goo Dolls doing Name. I got Sheryl Crow leaving Las Vegas. The presidents of the United States of America doing Lump. Stroke 9, Little Black Backpack.
Yeah.
I got Fish. just doing an ID.
Oh, okay.
But they do it a cappella.
Yeah. Oh,
cool.
Okay.
Yeah, they came into the studio at Fifth and Market. We had no idea who they were.
Yeah.
And like, can you do an ID? And then and I was like, wow, they could sing.
They worked out a harmony and did it.
We did, Casey. We recorded something with Trey, right?
Yeah, we had him do Truck Dust Torture, and then he did Dragonfly from his solo stuff.
Maybe I'll play that.
Yeah.
And I have a special guest coming in.
Really?
Special guest.
Does the guest suit the birthday, or is it
Yes,
something
very
else?
much so.
Really?
His last name rhymes with Bunner.
Excellent.
Gunner is coming in today.
Kevin Gunn.
He is firmly
He's got
woven into
all
the
the
history
Pierre
of
stories.
Oh,
my
dude,
God.
he is the historian of the radio station, is what he is.
And, he and Pierre were like best friends.
Yeah.
He can explain a lot of these archive cuts. We're doing a bunch from when the Morning Zoo used to be in Atlantic City. They'd have all these different artists. So Gunner was there for all those.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun to see Gunner.
So much great history.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I told him I'd get him pizza. So
All right. Very
He's in.
that was his only.
It's going to be good with Matt's hangout. All right, I want to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show brought to you today by Duncan, and the Preston and Steve Show runs on Duncan. Also brought to you by Faulkner Buick GMC Trevos. You can get massive construction sales savings at Faulkner Buick GMC and Trevos at FaulknerBuickGMC.com to be sure, and Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union, empowering financial journeys for a family since 1970. Tomorrow on this program, we had him rescheduled. John Michael Higgins. Great actor, great musician, too, actually.
He's currently working on a project with Gene Simmons and
and Brad Williams.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen. Do you guys want Gene Simmons tomorrow? They're asking to reschedule.
We'll
That's
talk
up to you
about it.
guys.
We'll talk about it.
All right.
But John Michael Higgins now hosting a game show, having some tremendous success there, and we'll see what else we can get into tomorrow. That's it. We're done. Rage on and have a great day in the morning. We'll see you tomorrow, friend. Bye-bye.